Welcome to another reaction stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're looking ahead to Gameweek 31 and reacting to what has been Gameweek 30, a really disappointing week for most. I'll be honest, I'm quite happy with a little small red arrow to around 76k and also 51 points. Son captaincy worked. I had the opportunity to actually take out Son and Jimenez for a -4 and get Harvey Barnes and Harry Kane, and he would have been my captain. And obviously Jimenez, a complete disappointment, and I still backed the decision to get him in on a wildcard despite my reservations about him, but he has been just an absolute flop. Apart from Gameweek 28, he's just been awful for all the other weeks. I can't wait to get rid of him, and I might still get rid of Heung-min Son. Of course, a lot of people after today's result are going to be like, well, how do I fit in Salah, Son and Kane in the same team? And it is possible, but you're going to have to make other downgrades elsewhere. If you have 2 free transfers, you could get away with a -8, making 4 transfers to facilitate this, but in most cases, it might be very difficult to do so. I also had the opportunity to get rid of Rafinha to Harvey Barnes, and whilst I would have gained 5 points, I do like Rafinha for the next 2 fixtures over Harvey Barnes, and also I do like the 2 free transfers, which would potentially save me a -4. I'm going to keep an eye on the Trent Alexander-Arnold injury situation, and then I'll reevaluate, but ideally I'd want to keep him. I've got a lot of value tied up in him, and if I were to sell him, I would get around 8 million, so I would lose around 0.5 million in value if I wanted to get him back, which is going to be a bit complicated. And Reece James, it looks like he's going to be out for the next 4 games, which is a big shame for Chelsea as well. He would have been one of my kind of ideal replacements. There is Joao Cancelo as well. But now with the FA Cup results out of the way, at least the Southampton City game, which was really crucial, I'll talk about the effects of that game on actual Game Week 33. That's going to be really interesting. But let's go through your questions and comments. So thank you very much for watching, and let's go through this. So welcome to Sing. Back, I think a few hours ago you posted this. 4 reds on a trot, 25k to 75k in 4 game weeks. Agent Jimenez pissing me off. Yeah, Jimenez has just been an absolute... No, he's been poor all season. And when I talked about selling him or skipping him a few weeks prior to Game Week 26, you know, a lot of people were like, well, I mean, do you even know how to play FPL properly? And the only reason I actually brought him in on a wild card was because he had a double in 26, 28, and didn't blank at all. But to be honest, I would have rather had a blank in Game Week 30 than -2 points. So there you go. Welcome, Mohammed. 11 points, -8 hit, but I'm guessing that probably changed after the Spurs game. Worst of a game week for me. Fofana not starting. Jimenez red card from 695k. Yeah, I mean, these things can happen. But this week was always going to be quite a low scoring one, and that's why I didn't want a free hit. For some of you, it made complete sense, but I'm just saying, in my situation, I just didn't think it made absolute sense to use it. So I'm quite happy to basically lose around 4,000 places and, yeah, just not use the free hit. I've still got that in the bank at least, but all my other chips are out. Welcome to Gatonga. How to fix? I don't think that team necessarily needs fixing, mate. That's a pretty decent one, but I probably would look to get rid of, say, Maximan Watkins. Yeah, your problem, David, is your front line. The rest looks pretty good to me, in my opinion. Just keep an eye on the Trent Alexander-Arnold injury situation. The rest is pretty good, in my opinion. How the hell does Kane assist and Son goal cost me rank? It's because of effective ownership. So I think Kane's was around 160%. So basically, those points against you, those effective points, are just going to cost you. Even if Kane gets fewer points than Heung-min Son, and it is what it is. You know, it's a big shame that Kane got a hat-trick of assists. He only got 3 assists before this game all season in the Premier League, but there you go. These things can happen. Welcome, Nabil. Who's your money on? Barca or Madrid? I probably wouldn't put money on it, to be honest. It's quite a difficult game to call. Barca are in really good form. Madrid aren't. I don't think Benzema's available. I think a draw is probably likely, but I don't like Madrid, so hopefully Barca win, even though I don't really care. Welcome, Akraf. Thank you for tuning in. I got 38 points thanks to Kane captain. Fair enough, yeah. I mean, Kane and Son probably saved our weeks. Without that, we're probably looking at a really bad week. Thomas says 7 players in my current squad score me 4 points. Yeah, that is... Yeah, it's pretty grim, but if you have one of Kane or Son, if you have both, then you're pretty much laughing. Welcome, Harry. Kept telling myself I'll wait until wildcard to get Kane in, and he keeps punishing me. Yeah, but the thing is, if you had Son and you captain him, it's not really... You wouldn't have gained anything if you took a -4 to get Kane in and get rid of Son, because Son scored more points anyway. But obviously, if you had both, that would have been ideal. And if I was in a situation where I didn't have triple Spurs already, the plan would have been to get rid of Salah and then bring in someone else, maybe Harvey Barnes, and then bring Harry Kane up front. That definitely would have been the move for me. Yeah, I mean, these things can happen though, Singh, you know. I wouldn't worry too much. This week was always going to be a bit of an awkward one, and you're never going to, you know, excel in every single game week. You're going to have bumps on the road. So I'm on the wild card. I will make a wild card video. at 1 point. So yeah, that will be coming within the next few days. Remember, there is an international break now, so we've got that to look forward to. Why is it every time I have Jimenez, he always has a red card and affects my points? Probably because he's a terrible FPL asset, to be fair. But it was a bit harsh, that second yellow, I will say that. 70 without free hitting. Yeah, no, that's a really good score this week, Kai. Fair play, mate. That's really good. I'm guessing he had both Son and Kane, so really good. Let's see, wait, how far away are we? Okay, no, we're kind of catching up, I guess. Maybe. So, Captain Son, 24. Well, Son got free bonus, actually, so yeah. He gets 15 points overall, so 30. 71 on free hit, yeah, fair enough. It obviously is a team-dependent thing. If you had 3 or 4 players and then you free hit and you get 71, it's worth it. For me, though, it definitely wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have gained that much, really. 41 points, Son saved me this week. Yeah, boy, what a terrible game week. I'm happy it's over, and now we can look forward to double game weeks and all of that. Is Reece James out for game week 31, 33? He's out for the next 4 games, so I believe so, yeah. He's definitely out for game week 31, it looks like, but obviously we'll find out more as things happen, yeah. Thoughts on the league comeback? I think it was all it all started off with that Jimenez red card, and if it wasn't for that, I think Wolves would have held on, whether it's 2-1 or a 2-0 victory. I think Wolves were looking pretty certain for the clean sheet, although Leeds still, caused some problems. They were a bit busy there, but I don't think they would have made that comeback without, Jimenez being sent off. That completely changed the game. Top 4 races on. Yeah, look, I never said, even after the Aston Villa game, I never said Arsenal have it secured. They still got those games in hand. At least on United, they got 2, but the games in hand aren't that easy. So it's going to be interesting. I think those games against United and Spurs are going to be really crucial. But recently, I think Arsenal have been the better team of the lot. But Spurs have Son and Kane. That is a really big difference. And then United have Ronaldo. So Arsenal don't really have that sort of caliber of player or finisher that can really drag them over the line. But they do have a team, and that's what I do like about that. Shocking week for me, 44 with a -4. Rafinha, Jimenez, Ramsdale, Dean, kill me. Look, the Ramsdale one we talked about in the deadline stream, there was the news, or the potential rumours anyway, of Ramsdale sustaining a hip injury. He wasn't spotted in training. But even then, back then, I was saying, you know what, it could just be noise. He might still be available, but we just don't know yet. There was not really a reliable source. In the end, it turned out to be true, which is a big shame. And yeah, Dean... that was a hamstring injury anyway, and before the deadline, Gerrard already said he ruled him out for that game. Rafinha, that's unlucky as well. I wasn't really, I didn't trust the sources that said he was available and in the squad, and also the ones that said he wasn't. I didn't really know what to trust. There wasn't a reliable source, and if I did see one, I probably would have gotten rid of him. But I'm actually happy in hindsight to have not made the transfer, because I don't really think that, losing 1 free transfer and getting 5 points is really worth it. I actually prefer going into Game Week 31 with 2 free transfers. Jimenez is just Jimenez, really. Free hit, 69 points. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not got bonus for Maddison, Kane, Son yet. No, that's good. With the bonus points, I think Son is free, Kane is 2, and Maddison's free. So you're getting plenty there. I'm guessing you captained Kane there, Ryan. So you would have probably gained 4, 7, 10 points. So fair play, mate. 79 points. That's a good free hit. And obviously, I want to clarify, when I'm talking about the free hit not being worth it, I mean in people's cases like myself, where you already have 7+ players. But if you have like 3 or 4, then you definitely gain something from it. So the free hit is a really powerful tool. For me, the wildcard is obviously the most important one. But yeah. Have a pretty strong team for 31, even though I was not set on using it. Would be worth holding to Game Week 34 to wildcard and prepare for 36. Yes, I agree. If you're looking good for 31, you could potentially wildcard in 34. You could use a free in 33, Josh, yeah. Remember, I took out Jimenez last week for DCL. At least DCL gave 4 points. Yeah, exactly. There you go. And Jimenez is out until, I think, Game Week 34, because Wolves now blank against City. So let me talk about that. So as you can see on screen, that was my end result. The points haven't been factored in yet, so Son is going to get 3 bonus points, so that's 6 extra points for him. I'm on 51 overall, so pretty happy with that, all things considered. And Jimenez, Jesus, I mean, wow. Those of you with like Ramsdale, Jimenez, Dean, as I think Josh said earlier, really unlucky. Obviously, I feel for you. We kind of talked about the Ramsdale and Rafinha stuff, but, Jimenez, you never would have expected it. I think it was still a bit harsh. He missed 2 big chances before getting sent off, so yeah, it is what it is. I'm really happy with Saka and Son. They pretty much carried me this week. Everyone else blanked. So we just move on. And thank you, Saka and Son. Now let's move on to Game Week 30. But before I show you 31, my Game Week 31 team, I want to show you this, just in case you haven't seen it, the effects of that Southampton-Man City game in the FA Cup on Game Week 33. So that's going to be really crucial. let's go to this. So just if you're not aware already, so Man City are now through to the semi-finals, of course. This means Wolves are blanking in Game Week 33. So if you have a triple up in Wolves like myself, you could actually start trimming them down, especially Jimenez. You know, it's kind of an easy sell. It's a sign from God. Get rid of this guy because he's terrible in FPL right now, which is a shame, by the way, because Jimenez was a great asset in the years gone by. So Man City have a single game week now against Brighton. So the likes of Cancelo aren't as appealing as they would have been if City had been knocked out and got that double game week. Arsenal now have a double game week, so those of you with triple Arsenal, you know, great. Ramsdale could be back in time for Game Week 31. I would expect him to. It's too early to tell, though, right now. But Arsenal face Southampton and Chelsea away. Not a great double, but a double nonetheless. And Southampton have a double game week against Arsenal at home and Burnley away. So those of you with Broja, Che Adams, even Ward-Prowse potentially, or a Southampton defender, you know, keep these assets potentially. And I think Broja could be back in the side for Game Week 31, but let's wait and see. And this means also for Game Week 36, Man City and Wolves will probably double in 36. Obviously, that was a blank now in 33. Wolves were supposed to play Man City, so that will be moving to Game Week 36 potentially. And that means Man City would face Newcastle at home and Wolves away. And Wolves will be facing Chelsea away and Man City at home. So there you go. That's pretty much the kind of confirmation for Game Week 33. Wolves are blanking. City don't have a double game week. And that fixture between Wolves and Man City will be moved to double Game Week 36, which we still expect to be the biggest double game week of the season. So that's pretty much it. So let me know your thoughts. There's still some more FA Cup games to go. If Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool, then Liverpool will double probably as soon as Game Week 33, which is very good for our teams. But are Liverpool going to lose? Probably not, but you never know. And that is a scintillating semi-final, by the way. Man City against Liverpool potentially. That would be amazing, to be fair. But let me know your thoughts down in the live chat. And if you haven't already, you know what to do. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. It really helps out the channel. So thank you very much to everyone who's already done so. It's massively appreciated. And I'll just keep this on for a few more seconds. Obviously, shout out to Ben Krellin, of course. He always does this. And he's always a step ahead in terms of the scheduling and all of this. So let me try skim through your questions and stuff. Obviously, I know I'm quite far behind. So apologies for that. So yeah, Harry Kane is killing me. Rigby, I'm in the same position, you know. I want to show you actually in livefpl.net, if you haven't already checked that site out. I'm not sponsored by them. They're just a really good free resource. So let me show you livefpl.net. So check this out. And this is why Singh, for example, you're talking about how am I losing rank when Son outscored Kane. Look at this. Kane got 13 points and it says there at the bottom, loss 18.98. So his effective ownership is that big that even if he doesn't get as many points as Son, who outscored him and he's your captain, yay, let me celebrate. Oh no, you can't, because Kane has cost you that much. But Son, look at the gain there, 20. That's probably one of the biggest gains I've made on a captaincy this season. Everyone who had Son and Kane would have gone for Kane, so I'm quite happy about that. And like I said, even though I got a red arrow this week, I'm fairly happy because quite a lot of people played the free hit. And I've actually only lost, 4,000 places? Not even that, just, around 3,000. So I'm pretty happy, all things considered. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, it will show you how many places that player cost you. So Harry Kane, 25,000 places he's cost me. So cheers, Harry. Thank you very much. I'll keep it PG, so I won't swear. Son has gave me 22,000 places, but there you go. Look at the effective ownership, 146%. And Son's, I think, was 60%. Let me go back up. Yeah, so around 66%. There you go. It's crazy, isn't it? But that's how it is. Effective ownership. Obviously, there's always this debate about effective ownership. Should you be protective and conservative and all of this? But there you go. Let's go to the price rises right now. Not really anything special, but players like Matip expected to rise. Rudiger. I would suggest not making any early transfers. Very simple, of course. Very basic advice, but we've still got some FA Cup games to go. We've got the international break. Anything can happen. Now, I'll go to my team very soon. I'm quite stacked, so some of you might think like that. So, I've got a good bench. I can afford to make early transfers anyway, but I would still try to recommend not chasing the price rises too much and just chilling out a little bit and just letting things run their course before just jumping the gun and just going in. So let me just check something real quick with YouTube. I think it should be good. But yeah, keep smashing the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. We've got almost 200 people watching here and we should be good to go. Okay, everything good on this front. So now we can go to my Game Week 31 team. So let me know what you think. Of course, Ramsdale and Trent, I'm going to be keeping an eye on their situations. Jimenez is probably a certainty to go. I could go to Weghorst. I could go to a few others. I'll talk about a comparison between Che Adams and Weghorst both of them have a double within the next 3 game weeks. In Weghorst's case, he has 2 doubles in the next 3 game weeks. And Heung-min Son, despite his 15-point haul, I might still get rid of him, get Harry Kane. And the main reason really is because in midfield we have so many midfielders to choose from. You can't say the same about the forwards. So Harry Kane really is like a gem up front because everyone else is just useless at the moment. So there you go. Pretty happy with double Southampton attack. I might just keep them and get rid of Jimenez there for Harry Kane. Pretty simple transfer. I was thinking about doing some stuff such as Heung-min Son out for Kai Havertz. That is something I've definitely considered. So I'll show you FPL.team maybe later on and I can show you how it would look. But I wouldn't be able to afford both moves. I would need to downgrade someone like Trent or maybe Rafinha. I could downgrade Rafinha to maybe a 4.5 million midfielder and maybe just a 5 million midfielder. So Jacob Ramsey, Gordon could look pretty good there. So I'll definitely have to think about that one. I don't want to get rid of Trent ideally, but it might have to be done. Thoughts on the Trent injury? I think he'll be back in time for City. I'm not sure about Gameweek 31, and that's why I want to wait for things to run their course. And yeah, wait, who's it? Yeah, Hosper. As I just said, my plans just now. Hopefully you got that. Let's see, I missed out on Ramsdale, Martinelli and Fofana. Yeah, but I mean, come on, Martinelli getting ill, Ramsdale sustaining a hip injury, which was against Liverpool, but we didn't really think about that or find out anything until basically the deadline. So I don't really blame you there, Fofana's unlucky as well. He scored in the Conference League, and a lot of people were saying, well, why don't we get Fofana? And I actually thought he'd be nailed on to start, but just because he scored, it doesn't mean he's now suddenly a great FPL asset. And even then, Leicester didn't keep a clean sheet, so it doesn't really matter. 71 free hit. Yeah, some pretty good scores on the free hit for the most part because most people would have had Kane and Son. That is the big difference, I think. Wolves on no-go, exactly. I've got triple up in Wolves and I can't wait to get rid of them. So if I need to find money, another thing I could consider, even though it might be for a hit, is actually downgrading Jose Sarr to a cheap goalkeeper, just a Ben Foster, save that money. I can keep Rafinha and everything else. So let me actually go to FPL.team. So that's a great point you make there. Wolves are finished. That is basically the moral of the story. So let me go here and show you. So what I could do here, I have 2 free transfers, 0.7 million in the bank. I might do something like this. So Jimenez out for Harry Kane. We'll put maybe Kai Havertz in for Heung-min Son. Although, yeah, with Chelsea, not really a double in 33 as far as I'm aware anyway. But, oh yeah, Leeds and Arsenal, my bad. Anyway, so Kai Havertz, this would be pretty interesting. So what else do I have here? 1.4 million. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, damn. Okay, no, this would be great. This would be ideal. Getting rid of 2 Wolves players, basically. But, yeah, I can't really afford any goalkeeper, unfortunately. So, yeah, I've got a... Yeah, nah. The cheapest goalkeeper is 3.9 million, so I'm literally 0.1 million off. Ideally, I would get maybe Ben Foster, just as my second goalkeeper. Someone cheap, but someone who can play just in case they're needed. So... yeah, that is a bit of a shame, isn't it? So let me just get Ben Foster in here as well. Yeah, I'd be 0.3 million off this team. So yeah, that's something I need to think about. But Kai Havertz and Kane would be ideal replacements for Heung-min Son and Raul Jimenez. But what I might actually have to do instead is just keep Jose Sarr for now, unfortunately, and maybe downgrade Rafinha. Who would be the other option? Or Trent, but I don't really want to do that. Despite, obviously, Trent facing City in 32. If Trent is ruled out for 31, then I probably will get rid of him, lose a bit of value, bring him back maybe for game week 33 or 34, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. But yeah, I've got to think about that. Let me know what you would do. Would you downgrade Rafinha to Gordon, to Jacob Ramsey, etc.? Would you downgrade Trent to maybe, well, maybe not Reece James in this case, Rudiger, for example? Or would you just go Jose Sarr to a cheap goalkeeper? Obviously, that would be the ideal one, but don't have enough money for that. So, yeah, I need to think about these transfers. But, yeah, a lot will depend on the international break. So, right now, just early thoughts and nothing concrete. Will it hold or sell? I'd probably sell, to be fair, but it depends who for. Yeah, name, I've only got the free hit chip left, basically. Today's biggest joke of FPL admin, Jimenez rises. Yeah, I saw that. Well, the thing is, though, it's mainly based on transfer activity. So that Jimenez price rise was based on what was happening over the last few weeks and days, rather than, obviously, people bringing him in after his red card. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, Rex, like I already said, I would sell Willock. Rudiger to Robertson or Breuer to Weghorst? I think Breuer to Weghorst... Oh, I'm not really a big fan of Weghorst, personally, right now, anyway. I liked him when he first came in, but... Rudiger to Robertson. Look, as much as Chelsea have a good defence, they've got a double fairly soon and all of that, I would rather do Rudiger to Robertson. But I'm not sure if that makes sense because Robertson plays City in 32, so maybe it's not the right time to get him in. Get a Chelsea defender in place of Trent. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that, but ideally I would keep Trent. But yeah, that is something I'm thinking about. That's a good suggestion there. Weghorst in for Jimenez. Yeah, that's something else, but I would rather have Harry Kane, really, and get someone like Kai Havertz, a differential in my midfield, but that's also a possibility. Have Thiago Silva and Rudiger. Is it good for the future? I think one is good. I'd rather double up personally on Liverpool. Robertson and Trent, maybe go for Rudiger, etc. But it's still good, yeah. I took a -8 for Gameweek 31, Havertz, Weghorst and Foster. Thoughts? It depends who you got rid of, S, but that looks pretty decent. If you sell Trent, get Cash or Van Dijk. I would rather have Van Dijk. Cash's fixtures are bad. Obviously, around 34 they turn, and actually I think Aston Villa could have a double in 34. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that's pretty good, Way saying 78 points is pretty good, yeah. Captaining Barnes instead of Kane. Yeah, I mean, I always said this. For me, I would captain a Spurs attacker. I didn't expect them to haul that big, but there you go. Pope for Sarr. That's a good transfer. They obviously got double in 31 and 33, so yeah. I have Chris Wood, so I'm thinking Wood to Weghorst. Yeah, I think that makes sense, Dylan. No Everton or Burnley assets in. I really don't care about their double, honestly. Like I said, I could do Rafinha to Gordon, and he would just then sit on my bench afterwards, but I mean, look at Everton's form. You know, they just lost 4-0 to Palace today. They're awful. You know, Everton are absolutely awful. And even when they beat, even when they won the other day, I just didn't really care. You know, I just don't think they're good assets. And I don't really think they offer great choices. Gordon's the best one because he's cheap. And, you know, if he doesn't turn out right, then, you know, he's cheap. 71 points on free hit, meaning I'm 23 points more than on a non-free hit team. I think that's a decent gain. I gained something similar on my free hit, even though I was a bit underwhelmed by Gameweek 27. But yeah, that's fine. Like I said, that's pretty good. Is Brownhill a good Rafinha downgrade? He's just going to get you really 2 to 3 points most weeks. So, I mean, he's good to sit on your bench. As long as you have a really good squad to cover for that, I think that's fine. Doing Dennis to Weghorst, Trent to James. That looks pretty good, Brendan. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, my goalkeeper pick is Pope. I think until the end of the season, it's still Ramsdale for me, but Pope is a good pick, you know, with those doubles in mind. Yeah, Pope for Sar's good, like I said already. Thank you for the super chat, Augustine. Much appreciated. 67 points with 7 players playing this game week. That's really good, mate. I'm guessing you had Kane and Son, but that's really good, mate. Fair play. With only 7 players, it's pretty impressive, especially with, you know, all the points dodging from all these players we've seen this week. So thank you very much for the super chat. Good score. Hopefully you push on even more in the future. I sold him in as Coutinho and Sarr. Yeah, to be fair, S, I agree with all of them completely. You know, Sarr blanks in 33. Wolves are looking a bit shaky. Jimenez is just awful. He's suspended. And Coutinho, he's been a bit quiet recently, and that's because the fixtures aren't really there for him anymore. Son plus Watkins to Gordon and Kane. That looks pretty decent, Way saying. Obviously, as a duo, I mean, would I even say Son and Watkins is better? Maybe not, because Watkins has been pretty poor. I think that's fine, mate. Thank you, Matthew. As he says, keep smashing the like button and subscribing if you're new. So let's actually see. Oh, yeah. Apologies for that. Wrong screen here. So thank you very much, Matthew. As he says, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. It really helps out the channel. And we'll keep going through your questions and comments. Quite a lot of you here in the chat, so it's much appreciated. So let's see. We've got around 200 people watching. Let's keep on smashing the like button. And there we go. So Jimenez to Kane and Coutinho, Rafinha to whom? I don't know how much money you have in the bank there, Naramia. Sell Rafinha and get Saka or Barnes. I still prefer Saka. Has to be Saka for me. Sell Kilman, yes. I'd sell probably most Wolves assets if you can. Yeah, especially Jimenez, of course. He's easy. Will Salah play in 31? It's really early to tell if he will or not. I think he will, but remember, I think only 2 or 3 days before that, Egypt have a really crucial game against Senegal. Saiss and Jimenez replacements. I think for Saiss, I'd look for an Arsenal defender around the same price, if not a Chelsea one, if you can afford it. And for Jimenez, you're looking at Weghorst, Che Adams, potentially. And I would probably go for Kane, obviously. He's the obvious one, for sure. Really need to know if Ramsdale and Trent are okay. Exactly, Hoxton. So I wouldn't make any transfers just yet, and we won't know until closer to the deadline. But initial diagnosis of Trent was that he's out for 3 to 4 weeks. So that would mean he misses the Watford game. But let's wait and see. When is Reece James coming back? I heard he's missing the next 4 games. So not anytime soon, to be fair. I had Ben Rama in my free hit team. Looks like a madman. Yeah, I remember you mentioned him. Yeah, Ben Rama, obviously, fair play to anyone who owned him in the end. But there you go, you know. I still wouldn't really be a big fan of him in general. But there you go. Unlucky for me, free plays doesn't play. Kilman, Rafinha, Martinelli. Yeah, I mean, these things can happen though. Kilman has kind of been in and out of the team recently with Bolly coming back. But Rafinha, Martinelli are just bad luck, really. Jimenez to Kane and Coutinho, Rafinha to him. Yeah, with 2.8 million in the bank. I'd say Havertz. I'd go for Havertz as a Coutinho Rafinha replacement. And I'd actually rather keep Rafinha and sell Coutinho. Yeah, in terms of Wildcard 31, I'll make a video about it and talk about it in detail. But it depends. I think some people are just kind of hell-bent on wildcarding in 31, but it might be better to wildcard in 34, actually, especially if you have the bench boost still. I think it's time to sell Coutinho and cash. Yes, Coutinho to Havertz, I'd say, and cash to a Chelsea Arsenal defender, for example. James out to Amati to get the money for Rafinha to Havertz and Kulusevski to Sancho. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really be in a rush to do Kulusevski to Sancho. I still think Kulusevski offers better value than Sancho. So I see what you mean, but I wouldn't be in a rush to get Sancho, personally. How is Trent out? And I let in Rudiger and Havertz since Liverpool faced Man City in 32 and 33. I want to use the free, and 34, 35. I want to use the wild card. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, if you have that kind of plan to wildcard in 34, it makes sense to get rid of Trent now. But if he is available against Watford, he could really severely damage your rank. Thoughts on Gallagher? You know, Palace have some good fixtures, so he is still one of the kind of main guys there that I want to target, but I'm not really thinking about him right now. I've got other players I want to look at, like Kai Havertz in particular. Is it good to sell Trent? Honestly, I'd still rather keep. And if he's out and ruled indefinitely for Gameweek 31, then I would look to sell potentially, yes. But if he plays against Watford, he could be in for a massive, massive score. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much. Should the 5 midfielders be Salah, Saka, Havertz, Kulusevski and Harvey Barnes? Great selection. That's very close to what I would pick. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There is the possibility of having Heung-min Son and Harry Kane as well with Salah, but I think that makes sense. Going with those 5 midfielders you say. Harvey Barnes has plenty of doubles as well. I think that's pretty much what I'd pick. Maybe 1 or 2 differences which I'll think about, reflect, and then talk about in my best wildcard team video, but I agree there, mate. I think that's a good set of players. Best Chelsea assets, Rudiger and Havertz, I think, are the top 2. If I had to pick a third one, maybe I'd go for a Thiago Silva. Obviously, Reece James is the ideal one, but right now he's injured, so yeah. Players to target, one of Harry Kane or Son, for sure. You have to have one of them for me. Salah, very obvious, so I'm not going to really talk about him. Robertson, still quite low owned. Kai Havertz, you know, these are the sorts of players I'd say. Now 35k, my first full season of FPL. We hope you were Salah to Son move for this week. Oh, thank you very much, Krishna. I mean, it makes sense. As long as you can get Salah back in, I think it's a good transfer. You're always going to gain something from that, even if it's only 3 points. Thoughts on Ronaldo for the next 3 game weeks? I honestly would still not really go for Ronaldo. You know, apart from that game against Spurs, he's been pretty anonymous all year. So I personally would just go for Kane, Adams, and maybe Weghorst, and spend that money in midfield. I don't think it's worth having 2 premium strikers. Havertz will become trash. Yeah, that is a possibility, but I still think he's looking really good. Ziyech was looking great before his injury and the Carabao Cup final. He was the one I was really talking about, but in the end, it didn't really come to fruition. Sell Salah for Watford and City, then get him back. I would not sell Salah ahead of Watford, unless we kind of get a kind of inkling that Salah will miss out against Watford. That makes no sense to sell him ahead of Watford. I think that's very bad, especially not only in terms of effective ownership, but I think Salah could go huge there. Keep or sell Tony? If sell, for who? I mean, look, I still think Tony's one of the better options up front, you know. Obviously, it's disappointing that he blanked against Leicester, but I think he's decent. If you want to sell him, go for Weghorst or Che Adams. I would personally go for Che Adams, especially if you're looking to free and 33, because you don't really need Weghorst for the other weeks as well. Havertz for Coutinho, yes. And James Rudiger, yes. But once again, keep an eye on Reece James, and it looks like he could be out for quite a few game weeks, potentially. Is it possible to get 400 points over the next 8 game weeks with bench boost free hit left? Well, yeah, I think, well, yeah, it should be pretty achievable. You know, in 8 game weeks, there's plenty of doubles as well, by the way, especially 36, which could be massive, and the average could be quite high. Yes, I think you can. Unless I'm, you know, bugging out with my maths, I'm pretty sure you can achieve that, because you have to basically average 50 points per game week. You should be pretty settled for that, mate, personally. Maddison or Barnes? I actually said Barnes before, you know, because of the form mainly. But Maddison is kind of... I actually looked at the stats for today's game, and Maddison had better stats, you know, a higher XA. XG was quite similar, although I think Barnes had that big chance. I think Barnes will score more in terms of goals, but Maddison, in terms of maybe the goal contributions and bonus points, he looks really good. Obviously, that free kick changed everything. If I had to pick, I'd still go for Barnes. I'd stick with my gut, but never discount Maddison. I said this before, and I actually said to buy both of them ahead of this week. Rafinha and Sarr to Pope and Havertz with 2 free transfers. I like it, mate. I honestly like it. Should we buy players now? Once again, I would avoid early transfers. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, like I said already, I'd go for Barnes. Yeah, with a Champions League draw, I talked about this the other day. I'm not really a big fan. Obviously, it kind of sets up a potential Liverpool City final. That's a bit interesting, but Liverpool, you'd expect to beat Benfica, despite how good Benfica have been this season. And Villarreal, Bayern, that's a bit boring. Atletico City's a bit interesting, but then I look at Chelsea Madrid. We saw that last year as well, so not really feeling it. Double Chelsea midfield, Mount and Havertz, good choice. I would just go for one. I don't think it's worth having 2 of them. Obviously, if you really back them, go for it. I would rather double up on another team potentially. Might do continue to Havertz, Foden, then get Cancelo back, yes. But maybe the time isn't now because Cancelo only has 1 game in 33. You could potentially get a doubler there. But then again, if you're free hitting in 33, it doesn't matter. Thoughts on Pookie? I think Che Adams, Weghorst look better because of the doubles and all of that. So not really thinking about Pookie right now. Who are the players we should be targeting? Already answered this, Jose. Like I said, Havertz, Robertson, to kind of go for these differentials. I'd still go for Saka. Arsenal have a double in 33. Tierney's looking good. Lacazette's not too bad, around 8 million. Che Adams is looking pretty decent. So those sorts of players, apart from the obvious ones. Is a 4-5-1 formation the way to go? I always say this is about the players that you have rather than the formation. But this year, with the lack of forward options, I kind of agree, So going for Kane and maybe another striker like Che Adams is the way to go. So yes, I agree. If not 4-4-2 or even 5-3-2 or I'd say 5-4-1, yeah, I think that's the way to go. I definitely wouldn't be, stacking up on your forward line. Someone said earlier Ronaldo, Adams, I think, and Kane. I think that's way too much money spent on the forward line. Yes, Havertz for Rafinha. As I said all day, basically, Havertz is someone I'm really looking at right now. So yes, I might go for Ziyech if Havertz is heavily owned. I mean, yeah, it's a shame if Havertz is heavily owned, but you've got to think about these things as well. Havertz or Ziyech? I mean, before Ziyech's injury, I was saying Ziyech, but right now, I kind of go off form, and Havertz has the better form, but you never know, Form doesn't last forever, and Ziyech can play himself into form. I still would go for Havertz, though. Yeah, I've been asked this a bit before today. United assets worth a punt? Yes, they are worth a punt, but would I spend, over 11 million on Bruno? Probably not. Over 12 million on Ronaldo? Definitely not right now. Sancho's potentially worth it, but I look at Havertz for a bit cheaper. I think he's better. Saka's looking better. Salah, of course, Heung-min Son, Kulusevski. So I don't really see a spot for United asset, and I definitely wouldn't go for the defenders. But obviously, never say never, and they are still worth looking at. Yeah, fair play. Picking Maddison over Barnes is looking pretty good. What do you think about Arnold? I think it's worth keeping him. Unless he's ruled out for Gameweek 31, I would keep him. If he is ruled out, then it's worth selling and maybe getting him back for 33 or 34. Any idea about the teams who has double in 36? City and Wolves, I think, are 2 teams that should have a double in 36. Also Leicester, Burnley, I think, are another one, and a few other teams. Obviously, we don't know yet what is going to happen for sure, but those teams look quite likely. 36 for bench boost or free hit? I'd say bench boost. It's going to be the biggest double game week of the season potentially, so I would say the bench boost. Will Ramsdale play? We don't know yet, but I think he will play. He'll be fine. Barnes or Kulusevski? I still like Kulusevski. Had a bit of a quiet game maybe today, but still looked quite sharp on the ball. Very difficult to get the ball off him, so I would still go for Kulusevski, but Barnes has those doubles over the Swedish international. Take out Rafinha or Coutinho? Like I already said, I take out Coutinho. As much as I don't really like Rafinha, Coutinho, the fixtures are just not there right now, so it makes sense to get rid of him instead. Thoughts on Weghorst? I'm not really that big of a fan of him right now. I'd actually rather go for Che Adams, but he's decent. Ideal back 4-5 moving forward? Great question. I would say Robertson, Trent if he's fit, Reece James once he returns, if not go for Rudiger, Cancelo, if you can afford this by the way, that would be my ideal kind of back 4, and then as a 5th defender maybe someone like Tierney, but that's a lot of money to put in your back line, so you can always consider some alternatives to what I've just said. Maddison is the Odegaard for Leicester. Yeah, but I do think Odegaard is a better creator. Maddison is probably a better goal scorer. That's what I would say. Odegaard hesitates a lot to shoot. Welcome football forever. 53 this week, W. I think it's pretty decent, yeah. As long as you scored, over 40 points, and you have 2 free transfers, I think that looks pretty good. And yeah, Liverpool obviously playing right now. It's not ideal, to be streaming whilst a Liverpool game is going on. Yeah, Diego Jota. This guy always scores in the cups, it seems. Very lucky going against Arsenal as well, but, you know, let's not even talk about that guy. If I take Kane, I've only got 5.3 million left. Mid at that price, Gordon or Ramsey, mate. Yeah, probably the best ones. Dylan, I'm already on 2 playing forwards, Kane and Broja. Thinking of downgrading Broja for another non-playing and going 4-5-1. You know, it's not a bad shout, but I still would like to have that kind of second option up front, you know, and not completely discount it, because what if some of these strikers like Che Adams are in form? I think it's worth having them. Of course, Robertson, I mean, what's to really say about him? I already said, for me right now, he is the best defender in the game, and he is probably one of the best things I've done on my wildcard. I'm quite happy about that. What about Mateta? Yeah, look, he's looking in pretty decent form. You know, he's someone to consider, but I don't know. You know, I just don't really think... The thing is, I kind of fell into a similar trap. You know, Edouard's was looking pretty good in 24. Got him, and then he just suddenly was completely axed of the team. So, look, Mateta's looking pretty decent, but I wouldn't be, you know, in a rush or frenzy to get them in. It's annoying when 12 million player becomes essential. Yeah, and also when it's Harry Kane and he plays for Spurs, but yeah. Why have you benched Robertson? Why have I benched Robertson? I haven't benched him, mate. It's just FPL.team, how they've set it up. So obviously I wouldn't bench him. It wouldn't make any sense to bench Robertson. So there you go. Hopefully you're happy now. So Trent in there, Jose Sa on the bench, Ramsdale would be in. I'm not sure about the rest. Maybe Doherty would be first sub. Broja could be in the team as well. That's something I have to think about. Salah would be captain and the vice would be Harry Kane. So yeah, nothing special there. I'm not really a big fan of the Gameweek 31 double, to be fair. But if I was to think of anyone, it'd be Weghorst from Burnley and probably Gordon from Everton. I don't really like the rest. Wildcard active, which 2 keepers would you propose? Probably Ramsdale, if not Nick Pope, and your second goalkeeper just Foster, really. How about Gordon Ramsay? Probably even better than this Ramsey, because when you need him to deliver, he doesn't. And then when you put him on the bench, this guy just gets a 10-pointer. So yeah, I'm happy I got rid of him last week, to be fair. Which double game week to use the bench boost? 36 for me, John. Depends on your team, but I'd say 36. Says to Rudiger, good transfer. Nicholas, yep. Richarlison, DCL and Weghorst to replace Jimenez and Broja. I'm not a big fan of Everton assets, so it could be good, but honestly, I'm not looking at it. Everton's fixtures are poor as well, so I personally would avoid. If I take Kane now, I've only got 5.3 million. I already answered this question, mate. I would go for Gordon or Ramsey. Bonus points now added. Now 6 added for me. Yeah, exactly. So gotta enjoy the points there. Chelsea defender. Yeah, obviously it would be ideal. If Reece James was fit, then he would actually be someone I'm looking at. So maybe for Trent. So with this team that you see, it's amazing, you know. Wow, amazing. 2 free transfers, but I'm 1.5 million off. So I need that money. I sound like Toby Maguire. I need to probably downgrade Reece James. Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe to Reece James or Rudiger. But unfortunately, it looks like James will be out. But yeah, I could do something like this, basically. Although I just don't like getting rid of Trent. So it just all depends on that injury news we get. So there you go. Let me know what you think of this. This would be for a -4. Havertz in for Son, Kane in for Jimenez, and Rudiger in for Trent. The other alternative would be Rafinha to Gordon or Ramsey. Actually, yeah, I can see what you mean. Gordon Ramsey. Jesus, again. I keep on saying it, basically. Double Chelsea defence versus Rudiger and Tierney. I mean, look, I don't think there's a huge difference between Chelsea and Arsenal defensively, but I still would back Chelsea more. I do like balancing it out a little bit more. That's what I would say. But Chelsea's fixtures are amazing, so I probably would go for double Chelsea defence. Rank 80k, fair play, mate. That's a good rank to be in, and you could still go up even more. Best teams to target from now to the end of the season? Chelsea, mate. It has to be Chelsea with their fixtures. I would also say Liverpool, because they're fighting for the title. They're not really going to bench Robertson, for example. So I'd say Liverpool, Chelsea, and Leicester. I think Leicester are another one. Thoughts on getting a Newcastle defender? Not really. Not for me. Yeah. When I say Gordon Ramsay, it's because of Gordon from Everton and Jacob Ramsey. So yeah, hopefully I made that clear. As a Newcastle fan, I say only go for our midfielders or forwards. I completely agree there, mate. Fraser, Willock, Wood. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. That's really good. Downgrade Jimenez to Mateta. That's not a bad shout either, actually. But I want to get Kane in, to be fair. What rank do you think is elite expert level? Honestly, look, I don't think rank is everything. That's what I would say. Obviously, everyone wants to get a better rank, but I think it's about the consistency. So if you're consistently, top 50k or top 10k, I think that's a elite, so-called elite manager. if you get like, let's say top 1k one season and then you consistently get, outside the top 100k, I don't really think, I wouldn't consider that to be an elite manager. So it's all subjective basically. So I wouldn't say I'm an elite manager, definitely not. I'm quite new to the game as well. So yeah, I think it also depends on consistency. That's the main thing for me. Chalobah's not a bad shout, but I think I'd still go for Rudiger because Chalobah can occasionally go in and out of the team. Yeah, Dylan loves abusive chefs. Trust me, mate, I don't. Although it's quite good to watch those programs sometimes. Okay, maybe not. Cornet and Roberts to replace Kilman and Rafinha. I honestly wouldn't go big on Burnley, personally. I fell for that trap in Gameweek 27 in a free hit. And I personally would just go for one max. I wouldn't really go big on Burnley, personally. The same goes for Everton. Sarr, Kulusevski out, Havertz, Foster in. Yes, mate, I like that. That looks really good. That looks fantastic. Evening to you as well, Mark Peter. Thank you for tuning in. An Aston Villa fan, obviously. We've got people from all over the world, people supporting different clubs, which is really good to see as well. Welcome, Golden Boys. Obviously, like I said, it's not ideal to be streaming around the same time as Liverpool, but there you go. It is what it is. We've still got over 200 people watching, though, so thank you very much. Keep smashing the like button, obviously. As always, it really helps out the channel. But just keep on sending in your questions and all that good stuff, and we'll be good to go. This is kind of an initial plan heading into Gameweek 31. I might just keep Trent anyway. I want to keep him, but it all depends on the injury news. I could also get rid of Rafinha. It's just a shame I can't do Sarr to a cheap goalkeeper like Foster. Otherwise, that would definitely be done. But my team value isn't great, let's say. Wait, what? Top 1k one season? Honestly, Tech, no. I'm not even aware of who's in the top 100k or whatever. It's just kind of the way I see it. So I literally have no idea about rank history for most people. I have a good feeling about certain managers, about they're consistently top 10k. But honestly, mate, I'm not calling anyone out. It's just kind of my own opinion. But yeah, I don't consider myself to be an elite manager. To be fair, best Leicester defender. It's kind of like picking the least worst from a bad bunch. I'm not really a big fan of Leicester defenders. I'd actually would say Justin. James Justin would be my kind of pick, actually, but not really feeling it. Potential penalty for Forest, that would be great, especially with Liverpool potentially doubling in 33. Best time to use my 2 free hits, 33 and maybe 36, 37, Genius Gamer. But if you have the bench boost, I would look to use it in 36. Ended up on 54 points. Fair play, mate. That's a decent score, I'd say, this week. Made it to 2.5k rank by following your channel since Gameweek 1. Thank you very much, but I honestly, attribute, the growth or the progress to yourself. I just give my own opinions. Sometimes I get it wrong, and then people call me out. So, it is what it is. I'm just offering my opinions. Okay, I'll give you the link. Let me just give you the link here. So I think this should work. But it's basically fpl.team. So check the website now. That I just put in the chat, and there you go. That is basically it. VIR says no penalty. Fair enough. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge. Offloading all Wolves players, no more for this season. Yeah, I think that's the case. The form is going downhill. Jimenez is suspended. They're not keeping the clean sheets. They just seem a bit kind of vulnerable. One instance like that red card completely changed the game. So yeah, I think it makes sense. I have a triple up in Wolves. Hasn't really gone according to plan, but I'm happy to get rid of them soon. Rudiger plus Tierney or Rudiger James if back. Great question, mate. I would rather go for Rudiger and James. As much as I like Tierney, I'd go for James. Forest robbed. How is that not a penalty? I have made jokes about Liverpool in the past, so no offence to Liverpool. I call them Liverpool, obviously. So it's kind of a little immature joke. But yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to judge right now. Hi, Dylan. What do you think about not getting Salah back before Gameweek 34? Look, 31 is where I'd be very nervous about not having Salah. But 32 and 33... fair enough. You can always free hit in 33 to get Salah back in anyway, but obviously he doesn't have a double. Yeah, we're saying I know him. He sometimes comments and obviously engages as well, so it's massively appreciated as well. Yeah, I saw he's in the Discord server. Yeah, it's really good to see. Best free hit side for Gameweek 33 video. Yeah, that'll be coming, but closer to Gameweek 33, of course. I don't think it makes any sense because if I do it now, for example, a lot can change in the next week, or should I say month or two. You got a league of your own? Yes, I do. Check the description below. I'll try to get the link for you right now. So just give me a second and I'll give you the link and also the league code if you want to join that way. So bear with me for a second. So yeah, if you check right now, if you haven't joined the league, consider joining. If you click that link, you automatically join, so you don't need to do anything. Yeah, Son has got the free bonus points flipper. I'll go now back to my points section here. And let's refresh the page and see if the bonus points have been added. No, well, yeah, they have actually. Yeah, Son's got the free bonus points, as you can see. We can get in, we can zoom in on this. So just to show you, there you go, free bonus points for Heung-min Son, 2 for Harry Kane. I actually can't remember who got 1. So yeah, but Harry Kane, man, this guy just always seems to get something. Your team is very similar to my wildcard. I'm guessing you don't have any Wolves players though. That will be the main difference. But there you go. Yeah, I think those who still have the wildcard and 1 free hit, maybe even 2, great position to be in. Chalobah or Fofana to buy? I'd rather go for Chalobah. Let me just try go through the questions a bit further up that I missed out on. Best Jimenez replacement, 8 million. I'd probably say Che Adams. Mateta's not a bad one. A lot of people have mentioned him today. And also Weghorst. I'd go for one of those 3. I'm not feeling Richarlison or DCL. Coutinho and Laka to Salah and 1 6 million or under forward. The only forward under 6 million that I'd consider is really Broja. I'm looking at the rest. I think Mateta might be actually under that consideration. If so, then yes, I'd go for Mateta. Let me double check this for you. Yeah, so, okay, let's go to the fixture section. Let me just check his price for you quickly. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. But if Mateta's under 6 million, I'd go for him. Yeah, 5.2 million. Yeah, I'd go for this guy. Scored in the FA Cup against Wolves as well. I'd go for Mateta or Broja as the kind of under 6 million forward if you are looking for one. So yeah, there you go. The next deadline is on the 2nd of April. Jesus. There you go. Got rid of Wolves 2 weeks ago. Yeah, fair play, mate. They were okay in Gameweek 28, but still underwhelming considering the double they had. Yeah, they've been awful. How long is Ramsdale out? No, nothing is confirmed yet. Nothing is confirmed about Ramsdale. But yeah, I think he might miss the England games, but that doesn't really affect our FPL prospects. Second goalkeeper. No, I would not do... I don't think it's worth having Ramsdale and Leno. I would just have Ramsdale and a second goalkeeper like Foster. Who is likely to finish 4th? I think it's between Arsenal, Spurs and United, obviously. I'm not sure. Arsenal are in the better position right now. I think they're the better team, but they've got the harder fixtures, so I'm not sure. Why do you want to move Sarr out when Ramsdale may be out for a few weeks? Obviously, like I already said, this is all dependent on what happens with Ramsdale, with Trent and the injuries. Nothing is set in stone. I'm just saying my own opinions. I think Ramsdale will be fine for 31, but I'm not going to make early transfers. I don't think it makes any sense. Thoughts on wildcarding this week? I would go on FPL.team and see how your team lines up. If it's looking good for 31, consider saving it for 32 or 34, potentially. Is it worth taking a -4 for Kane and Amati and transferring out Trent and Jimenez? I'm not a big fan of Amati or Leicester defenders, honestly. So I'm not sure. And if Trent is actually fit for Gameweek 31, then I'd say no. I'd find another way to fund Kane. 62 from 9 players, that's pretty good, mate. Like I said, any score I'd say above 40 is pretty decent, all things considered, this week. I'm in the round of 256 in the Thailand Cup. Hope to reach at least a round of 64. Good luck, mate. And I actually haven't really been paying attention to the Cups, but I think I have gone through to in the National Cup that I'm in, but I'm knocked out of all the others. But hopefully you do really well there. Will the top 3 teams play an eventual double Gameweek 36? City will. They should be playing one against Wolves because they're going to blank in 33. That fixture should be moved to 36. As for Liverpool, I think they will also double in 36. And as for Chelsea, I need to double check that, but I think they will as well. I could be wrong though. But yeah, I'll double check that. The site that I'm using, Brian, is FPL.team. That is the site that I'm using. So I'll go back to it right now just so you can see it. There's a lot of sites that we've used on here. So yeah, this is FPL, livefpl.net. This is FPL.team on screen. Kucho might be a good shout. Yeah, I forgot about him completely. Yeah. So Kucho, Hernandez, Mateta, and Broja. They're definitely the top 3 picks. I'd probably say Kucho Hernandez first right now, actually, based on his form. Currently 14k, but only have 1 free hit chip left. So expect red arrows as many people still have many chips. You can still finish in the top 10k, mate, but you have to be really good with your transfers tech and strategic with your hits. So in a big double game week like 36, playing the right hits, getting the right players in will be crucial, but you can definitely do it. But yeah, Mark, like I said before, that's a great shout with Kucha. I completely forgot about him. I say Rafinha's a must-sell, to be honest. It depends. I think if you have Coutinho, I'd rather sell him. But yes, I'm not a big fan of Rafinha, so that's not really a bad shout, actually. James and Weghorst or Robertson and Mateta. I mean, James, the thing is, I'm not sure if he's going to be available for 31, so I'd actually rather go for Robertson and Mateta right now. Reports saying Ramsdale's out for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not too bad. He should be fine for Gameweek 31, basically. Well, Actually, it's going to be kind of a race against time. Yeah, he might miss the Palace game if that's the case, but let's wait and see. Thoughts on Trent to Matip? Look, Matip has been in really good form, and he's been proving me wrong, but I don't know, there's always something about him. He's too injury prone, and when Konate's back in the picture, he might get some games rested. I would rather have Trent, of course, but basically if Trent is out, that's a good replacement. I'd still rather go for a Chelsea defender though. Is Kucho a good enabler? Yes, Mario, definitely. Get Tierney in your team for Trent. I already got Trent, mate, but obviously Tierney's a good suggestion, yeah. How do you do that kit change? It's basically a Chrome extension. FPL away kits Chrome extension. If James is injured, would you move to Thiago Silva or go for Tierney? I'd rather go for Tierney out of those two. Yeah. Thoughts on Everton assets? I'm not really a big fan, and they got crushed today by Palace. Gordon's the only one I would consider, and even then, not for me. Chelsea made it through to their games against Leeds. Is postponing Gameweek 33. Yeah, exactly. So they should double in 36. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So basically the top 3 teams should double in 36. Yeah, thank you for that, Tech. That's exactly right. That's the thing I didn't mention actually about 33. So I talked about Wolves and City blanking in 33, but not that one. So yeah, Leeds are blanking in 33. So not a bad shout to sell Rafinha actually. He's got 2 good games here in 31 and 32. How often does Kucho play? Well, he's been playing every game recently, and he is their form player. It makes no sense to sell him, or should I say to bench him. So I still think he's a good option. Thank you, Sam. Much appreciated. When is Trent back? Nothing's confirmed yet. Just keep an eye on the injury news. Do not sell him just yet, but he could be out for 3 to 4 weeks. That's kind of what we've been hearing in the last week or two. I have Raya, James, Rudiger, Laporte, Cancelo, Salah, Son, Kulusevski, Saka, Richarlison. Yeah, that's a good bench and a good team. Is there any changes you would make? I don't like Richarlison and Everton assets, but he's got a double, so it doesn't make sense to get rid of him. I think if you want to make transfers, I'd get rid of Hwang and De Gea. The rest is fine. Yeah. Although double City defence, they only have 1 game in 33, although I'm not sure if you're free hitting there. But basically, Hwang and De Gea are the 2 weaknesses in your team. I'm not a big fan of Richarlison personally. And then, yeah, in terms of your defence, I think you are missing a Liverpool defender, Mardi. So I would go for Robertson if you can. But yeah. Weghorst to DCL, I'd actually go for Weghorst. He's a bit cheaper, and he's got 2 doubles in the next 3 game weeks. 64 with 7 players, yeah, that's good. Hoping to finish in the top 20k, yeah, you can definitely do that, Abdul. Even top 10k potentially, although that will be a bit tougher, but you can definitely do it. Keep De Gea, I'd sell him. I know he's got some good games, but I think Ramsdale and Pope are probably better options right now. Rate my team video soon. They could be because it's an international break, but not that many people I would say are that interested in a kind of rating the team's video, but obviously I'll see what happens. Yep, Liverpool won. I'm not going anywhere near Everton or Burnley. I agree, Mark. The only one I would consider is Pope, Weghorst for Burnley, and for Everton, just Gordon. Yeah. The site I'm showing Brian, like I said before, is fpl.team. So I'll put the link here. It's very easy to find. So there you go. Are Man City blanking in 33? No, they have 1 game against Brighton. Their game against Wolves is going to be a blank. So Wolves is the team that's blanking, not City. They could have had a double if they lost to Southampton. I feel like every 50-50 decision has gone wrong this season. I've gone wrong, yeah, and feel like if they had gone right, I would have plus 40 points more. Yeah, I see what you mean. I've had something similar. In Gameweek 28, huge swing. Gameweek 29, the swing between Son and Kane, kind of calming down, not taking that extra hit for Kane, keeping Son. It all backfired. I see what you mean, but you have to trust the decision-making process and don't beat yourself up about it. Free hit 33, wildcard 34. Yeah, mate, Singh, that is pretty much what I would do probably. If I had the wildcard for my team, I would do the exact same as you. Yes, Hersey, you don't have to, but I probably would sell Willock. 1 free hit left, when should I use it? I'd say 33, but it might be different for you. You might have a good team in 33, so it makes more sense to use it in 36, for example. So go to fpl.team and plan. Do not just set on something completely. Be open-minded. So 33, 36, either of them could be good, but I'd say 33. Who is a must-have differential player for the next 2 game weeks only? Good question. I mean, a few players might not be differentials very soon, like Kai Havertz. So even then, I think his ownership isn't that low. So let me double-check Havertz. I mean, 6%, I would consider Havertz a differential, so I think he's pretty decent. I mean, look at the fixtures as well. Not just the next 2, the end of the season, really. Fantastic. So I would go for someone like Havertz. Robertson is a slight differential, although his ownership is now 9%. But Robertson for me is the best defender in the game right now. He's looking really good. I mean, look at these returns since Gameweek 22. This is unreal. The only time he blanked is when he didn't play. Wow. That's pretty much the best thing I've done all season, getting Robertson in Gameweek 26. If there is anything I could really say to kind of take pride in. So I'd say Robertson and Havertz are right up there. Who else? Not really a big fan of most of the kind of other differentials that I can think of, but there's always someone. I might be forgetting somebody right now, to be fair. Havertz or Mount? I'm backing the form. I'd go for Havertz right now, but it could easily change. Do not discount Mount. Thoughts on Lacazette? He's decent. He's got the double in 33, but his finishing is awful. So don't expect too many goals from him unless he gets a penalty. You're mainly going to rely on the assists. So 33, yeah, basically Hoxton, yeah. So everyone who did the predictions, like Ben Krelling, etc., they did a great job. Dean to James or Cancelo. I mean, James is still injured, mate, so not sure about that. But obviously, if James is fit, I would rather go for him. Better fixtures and also a double. I think more doubles, more games to be rescheduled. So yeah, I'd go for James. I have Robbo, Trent, Rudiger, Cody, and Marty. Already planning to sell Cody for Cancelo. Trent to James. That looks pretty good. If Trent is up for 31, I'd definitely do it. Yep. Say Son and continue to Havertz, Mahrez, and Cancelo. I wouldn't triple up on City necessarily, mate. City are a great team. It's not a bad idea, but... Well, did I say triple up? My bad. Having a double up. Yeah, I like the Havertz and Cancelo transfers. I'm not sure about Mahrez. I wouldn't go there, personally. Havertz or Mount? Yeah, like I said, I would go for Havertz there. Bad Gameweek for me. 36 from 8 players. Dropped from 5.9k to 10.9k. But you're still in a good position, mate. I'd rather be in your position with 2 free hits. Yeah, that's still a great position to be in. I'm guessing you didn't have Son or Kane. Or if you did, the rest of your team were pretty much, getting red cards like Jimenez or something. But yeah, still good. Yeah, Robertson is a machine. He's the best left back in the world for me. Yeah. With all the big free, only having one game in 33, I think free hit in 33 seems like the best move. I agree, mate. Exactly. And also, if you have the bench boost, it makes more sense to use it in 36. More doubles, more opportunities to gain points on the bench. Anybody else bothered by the integrity of FPL Towers with respect to Son FPL assists? I'll be honest, for that goal, I didn't see it. I saw the rest of the game, really. But I didn't see that first goal. But I heard a few people complaining about it, so I have no idea about it. Yeah, they can pretty much get away with it, though, can't they? 13 overall and 1 free hit left. Yes, it's definitely possible, mate. You're not that far behind 10k, and yeah, you've got a free hit left. Some people around you will have a lot of chips available, but it doesn't matter. You can still, with your free transfers and your hits, you can outscore them. They might misuse the chips that they have as well. So yeah, City Liverpool in the FA Cup semis is good. Let's go. Come on, City. I mean, I think City are a better team, but Liverpool have the momentum, so that should be a great game to watch. Yeah. My team is Ramsdale, Trent, Cancelo, Rudiger, Salah, Saka, Rafinha, Kulusevski, Mount, Broja, Kane. Yeah, that's a good team. I have 2 free hits. What transfers should I make? Obviously, a lot is dependent on what happens in the international break, all the news that we get, etc. If Trent is out, I would look to sell him and go to Robertson, potentially, and cover. You basically have a Liverpool, City, and Chelsea defender, as you already have. You still maintain that. I wouldn't really change too much from the rest. I mean, I prefer Havertz over Mount, but is it worth that transfer if you already have Mount? Probably not. I would consider Rafinha out, so I'm not sure how much money you have in the bank owned by M, but you could do that. Looking at your bench, actually, I think you could get rid of all of them. So Dallo, Dennis and Aït-Nouri, I'd probably look to sell them and improve on them. So Dennis, you could move on to Broja, to Cucho Hernandez or Mateta. Dallo could become Tierney, for example, and Aït-Nouri as well. Wolves are pretty much not looking too great. So actually owned by M, I would focus on your bench. But if Trent obviously is out, then focus on him. Yeah, Pulisic as a differential, but once again, I kind of try to stay clear of these injury-prone players, and Pulisic is very inconsistent for me. I'd rather have Havertz, who has been inconsistent, but he is showing a bit of form recently. Yeah, Robbo on a mad run with Liverpool defence from improving recently, yes. And in recent weeks, they've been one of the best defences, right up there with City and Chelsea. Over the course of the season, I think there's a bit of a bigger gap, but yeah. Jimenez to Weghorst, yes. But once again, I'm not a big fan of Burnley and Weghorst right now. So it's a decent transfer. You're going to gain points from it. But I don't know. I'd still maybe would rather go for Adams, Cucho Hernandez, etc. 5 must-have players in 31. I don't know about must-have, but I'd say Robertson, Trent if he's fit, Salah, Harry Kane or Son, those are all right up there. And then I'd say maybe a Chelsea player, so Rudiger or Havertz. So wouldn't really say the rest is must-have. Arsenal facing Palace, I don't think anyone there is a must-have. I wouldn't even say any Burnley or Everton players must-have, honestly. Any plans to fit any City players in? Cancelo could come in for Trent, but that's really what I'm thinking of. I look at the midfielders, I'd rather have Havertz than Foden and all the others. So yeah, it's just Cancelo really. What would be your target rank for the end of the season? To improve on what I did last season, which wasn't great, but I was around 55k. So if I can get into the top 50k, I'd be quite happy with that. Not great, I'd rather be in the top 10k, but I still think I've got quite a way to go to get there. Popo Havertz, Havertz for me, even though obviously different positions and everything, but I'd rather have Havertz long term. 53 points, had Share with no game, Rafinha didn't play, Jimenez -2. But that's still good, 53 points. Red Arrow, that's not too bad though. You're in the top 50k. I'm guessing, you didn't use a free hit, so that's good. Saka and Son, captain, exactly the same, mate. We move to next week with 2 free transfers. That's a great position to be in. 31, 2 free transfers. You can even make 4 transfers, a little mini wildcard, and only take a -8. That looks pretty decent. I watched it, and that was a Kane assist for me. Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to see it myself to really, judge on it. Adams to Locadia, 8 euro to Rudiger. I would not get rid of Adams to Locadia personally, because Adams does have a double in 33. He faces Leeds in 31, but I like the other moves. If you have to make that Adams to Locadia move, fair enough, but I'd even consider Kucha Hernandez instead. But yeah, Rafinha to Havertz, great. 8 euro to Rudiger, amazing. I like that. I've taken a -8, -8, and -4 hits from Gameweek 28 to 30. All have paid off. Fair play. That's why sometimes hits are worth it, and being aggressive is the way to go. It just depends. Adams is a trap and always has been. Fair enough. I mean, the thing is, which striker is reliable right now? I keep on saying it, just Kane. So yes, I don't really like any strikers, but I don't think Adams is a bad option. Vekos has great off fixtures. Yes, he does, but Burnley are just... How many goals did they score? Not that many. That's the problem. But yes, he is a good option, definitely. Thoughts on Broja moving forward? Do you think he'll no longer be a regular starter? It's a possibility, but I think he will play. Within, Gameweek 31 to 33 period, I think he will get some starts, but I'm just not sure if he will play every single one. Thoughts on Rafinha and Trent Havertz and Matip for a -4. I like that, to be fair. If Trent is out, then I would do it. Kane, Vekos, Lacazette, which to replace? I mean, it doesn't make sense to replace... I mean, come on. Kane is never going to be replaced, is he? That makes no sense. Weghorst, he has a double this week, so no. Has to be Lacazette if you had to pick one, but he does double in 33. Prediction for El Clasico? Trying to think, isn't it? I think it's in the Bernabeu. I'm not sure. I think Benzema's missing out. I need to see the lineups. Before making a prediction. First time playing FPL, currently around 275k. That's pretty decent, mate. That's pretty decent. When I first started off, I was playing casually. I didn't even make transfers every single week. So yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. That's a good position to be in, mate. Trent potential returns 10 to 4. Yeah, exactly. If Trent plays against Watford, he's a great captaincy option even. Cornet or Gray above Gordon? I'd rather... I mean, I don't like any of them, honestly. I just have Gordon. Yeah, once again, the away kits is FPL Away Kits Chrome extension. Search it up and you'll be able to get it. You can't get it on the app. It's only the website in your desktop. You can't do it, I think, on your phone, if I'm not mistaken. I think the best 4.5 million forward option is maybe Sam Greenwood. Yeah, he got an assist, I think, yesterday. Leeds have 10 plus injuries, as always, and can clear some funds. Yeah, that's a good option. I would still rather pay a little bit more for Mateta or Kucha Hernandez, but that's a great shout. Really good shout. Welcome, Tendai. Hope you're good. Leeds looking good. Punt for Rodrigo. The thing is, though, I think Leeds were, I want to say lucky, but the reason why they won, in my opinion, was because of the Jimenez red. Everything changed after that. So they're looking decent. They got that fighting spirit under Jesse Marsch. They definitely are looking better, but I still wouldn't really be going for Rodrigo, personally. First season of FPL squad. Yeah, quite a lot of people in the chat there. You suggest to sell Jimenez now or wait? Well, sell him this week, but as in ahead of Gameweek 31, but don't do it just yet. Yes, he might drop in price, but what if you get rid of him for a player who gets injured? Or you make the transfer, then other players in your team get injured and you need to take hits. I just think it's best to wait. Best captaincy option in 31, Salah. Definitely Salah, and if not, it's Harry Kane. If you want to go for a double Gameweek player, consider... Who do I consider? Maybe Nick Pope, maybe Weghorst, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, but not really feeling it. I'd go for Salah or Kane. Salah being first for sure. I'd say Trent and Robertson are right up there too. Get Gordon or Weghorst. I'd honestly go for Gordon because you can always bench him afterwards, and Everton have plenty of games yet to be rescheduled. So look, Weghorst is decent. I'm not gonna say he's bad. You know, I was talking about him in Gameweek 26. I had him for that return. I was happy, but I'm just not a big fan of Burnley offensively. Wolves 2 Leeds 3 was the best crazy game of the season. It was one of the best games of the season. I'm not sure if it was the best. You know, in terms of quality of game, I would say Liverpool City is the best. You know, it's the highest quality game we saw all season, the 2-2. The craziest game, it might be, I'd say it's right up there, yes, but I'm not sure. I might be missing something else. There probably is another one. Son and Jimenez to Gordon and Kane. That looks pretty decent, to be fair. And Jimenez is suspended, so yeah, that looks good. And Gordon has a double. But once again, just because he has a double doesn't mean he's great. You know, Everton are awful, unfortunately, for them. So yeah, we're 1 like away from 100, so keep smashing the like button. It really helps out the channel. Thank you to everyone who's already done so. Thank you very much. Let me just put some links in the chat. So here you go. You can join the Discord server right here. Be sure to join. And also, I'll put a link to the Patreon. You can also become a channel member by clicking the join button, and you will have a link or a list of all the perks there, including early access to videos. So there you go. Check out the links. Thank you to the 100th like there. Much appreciated. Yeah, keep the questions going and everything. I'm just going to double check something on YouTube as well very quickly. Yeah, okay, all good, all good. All right, there we go. JTR says, thinking of just going Jimenez to Weghorst. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And you've got 2 free transfers heading into Gameweek 32. Yeah, that's good. Every Leeds game, the commentator makes it look like a UCL final. Yeah, that's a good point. Leeds goals were flying in like FIFA goals. Yeah, and FIFA, as we all know, is about scripting. So yeah, it seemed very scripted, didn't it? Obviously, I'm not saying the game was fixed or anything. I'm just saying, would you buy Cancelo or Havertz first? Look, as much as I think Cancelo is one of the best defenders in the game, right now I'd probably say Havertz. What's your Twitter handle, Dylan? It's Dylan RCM. So I'll put a link as well to my socials. So my Instagram is Dylan_RCM, but my Twitter is Dylan RCM. So yeah, let me just get that link for you as well, just so you don't have to type it up as well. So thank you very much for asking, and here you go. Let me just put this in the chat. So yeah, there you go. I think that should be right. So what, we've been streaming for an hour already. I mean, time has gone so quickly. So obviously I appreciate everyone who's been tuning in. It's always appreciated. Who's winning the league? I've always said City. Well, maybe not always. You know, I backed them last season, or at least last few years. I always say City, but beginning of this year, I had a feeling about Chelsea. You know, they were looking good. You know, they just won the Champions League. But yeah, ever since I'd say September, October, I was basically saying City. I'm going to stick to that. Liverpool have the momentum, but I think City are a better team. Son or Kane? I think Son offers better value, but Kane is better because how many forward options do you really, you know, trust? Just Kane. So yeah, with the midfielders, you have plenty to choose from. So it has to be Kane for me. Kai Havertz for the next 3 Gameweeks? Yes, Christian. Yes, definitely for the end of the season, really, mate. Any Burnley or Everton defender? Burnley defender maybe, but Everton, they just conceded 4 today. They just, I would definitely not go for an Everton defender. And I could be wrong, you know, just back your gut, but I wouldn't go anywhere near them. Havertz or Lacazette? Havertz, mate, all day long. I go for Havertz. I think I'm going to pull the trigger. Fair enough. Is Adams nailed from Southampton? Yes, I think he is nailed, but that's a good point. You know, when everyone got Embroya, basically, he started blanking and then he got benched. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's saying. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if there will be any collaborations. Obviously, I don't mind or anything, but obviously different schedules and stuff. Obviously, we'll wait and see. I'm not going to say never, but yeah, obviously anytime soon, probably not. But let's wait and see. Let's double check if there's anything else, any news, anything on Twitter. Obviously, it's not like a deadline stream where we have quite a lot to think about. The last deadline stream was hectic with Rafinha. We were all talking about him, whether he's going to be available or not. We talked about like 10 different sources in the end. He missed out. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything. Liverpool is trending. So, yeah, I want to see this for myself. Okay. Onside. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's difficult, you know, to judge with these screenshots. But yeah, that did look a bit... Nah, I mean, the Jota one, that doesn't look offside, but that's just one picture I've just seen. I'm not sure. Something else has happened. I think the penalty, that's what most people are talking about. Yeah, exactly, I agree. Wait until the internationals. I don't think it makes any sense. Rafinha, Jota, or Diaz? I'd actually say Diaz from the lot. Yeah, with Jota, look, obviously he's a good FPL option. He has been all season, but with Diaz coming in, I'm just not really that sure. I'd actually rather go for other avenues. So have Salah, maybe Son, Kulusevski, etc. Then you're looking at the likes of almost forgetting the names here, Havertz, Maddison, Barnes, etc. So I probably would look to avoid all of them and double up on Liverpool defence with Trent if he's fit and Robertson and go for Salah. But I would go for Diaz out of those three, mate. That's the way I see it. So yeah, that is a bit interesting, isn't it? And by the way, let me know if any of you play F1 Fantasy. How are you doing in that? What an end to that race as well, by the way. Red Bull, very unlucky. 3 of the 4 cars with a Red Bull engine all didn't finish. So something fishy is going on there as well. Let me check the Barcelona Real Madrid lineups and see what we have here. So yeah, 10 minutes gone, 0-0. Madrid have one more shot. Possession is just a bit more in Madrid's favour. What the hell was that formation? Google put a 4-2-4-0 formation. I've never seen that before. A little glitch there. So wait, let's see the lineups. Since someone asked about my prediction. Yeah, I think draw. I'd probably just stick with a draw that I said earlier. So maybe 1-1, 2-2. Yeah, I'll go for a 2-2 draw. But yeah, Madrid are a better team, I'd say. There's just no Benzema. I think that's the kind of big difference there. If Benzema was there, I probably would say a Madrid win. Fair enough way of saying yeah. Like I said, I don't rule it out, but it's just right now I'm not sure. And especially with the international break, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, after the international break, just hope Jimenez doesn't fall in price. Yeah, exactly. Look, the thing is, if you're going to be priced out, that's a bit different, and then maybe I'd risk it, so long as you have a good bench. But in most cases, I probably wouldn't. True, but if Kane gets injured with England, it's a possibility. That'll be the worst case scenario, because then you'd probably want to take a -4 again to get Heung-min Son, or potentially you'd take a -8 for that. Trent, Robbo, Rudiger, James as a back 4. I'd personally rather have Cancelo for one of those Chelsea defenders, but yes, that looks great, you know. Liverpool, you know, those 2 fullbacks are the best defender options in the game. And then you have Chelsea's form, or should I say their fixtures, they're really good. But I'd rather have Trent, Robbo, Cancelo and James if you can afford it, but that's a great back 4. Which one to get rid of between Laka and Broja to get Adams? I'd rather get rid of Lacazette, because then you could just bench Broja if, you know, he's not looking too good. Does La Liga have fantasy? I believe so. There definitely is one for Bundesliga and a few other leagues like the Swedish League, the Scottish League, etc. The Championship. I'm not sure about La Liga though. I have bench boost and free hit. Once again, team dependent question, mate, but probably free hit 33, bench boost 36. The Gameweek 36 should have the most amount of doubles this year. For example, City are blanking in 33. Sorry, they're not blanking. Apologies for that. Wolves are blanking in 33. City aren't having a double. But City against Wolves should be moved to 36, so they'll have a double then. So you're going to have more options to have on the bench to bolster your squad in 36. So it makes more sense to wildcard in 34, for example, bench boost in 36. Even without a wildcard, you could look pretty good there. And as for the free in 33, you've got a combination of blanks and doubles. Perfect for a free hit, in my opinion. So that's my take on it. What else do we have? Real Madrid doing a 4-2-4-0. Surely they're playing for a draw. Yeah, I don't even know what Google's on, but yeah. I low-key want to transfer in players with away games next week just to look at the beautiful kits. Yeah, that's a great point. Even though Rafinha, I kept Rafinha in the end and he blanked. Looking at that dark blue kit looked pretty good, to be fair. But yeah, looking at this, you know, sacking that yellow kit, you know, with the cannon there, looks good. Even the Southampton, you know, kit as well. It all looks pretty decent, I wish there was an option to toggle. So even if a team doesn't play away, just to have the away kits, because, you know, even though I don't like Spurs, their away kit is better than the home kit. So, you know, that would look pretty decent as well. And even Liverpool's, if I'm not mistaken, isn't too bad, although their home kit is probably better. Teams, which double in 33? Obviously, I need to double check this just to go through it properly, but Arsenal are going to be doubling now in 33, also Southampton. So we'll go through that now. You know, we might as well. Obviously, it's a long way to go. Gameweek 33 is around mid-April. But as you can see here, Chelsea, a team are doubling. You know, they're facing Leeds. Chelsea are not doubling because Chelsea have gone through in the FA Cup. Remember, in Gameweek 33, there's going to be a clash between the Premier League and the FA Cup. So, for example, here, if you go on the fixtures right now, Liverpool would have a double against Villa and United, but Liverpool are through to the next round. They're not doubling. As for City as well, they're only facing Brighton. They're not facing Wolves. So basically, let's go through the doublers. So just to go through this, I think, yeah, Leicester, and they were always going to double pretty much in 33. That's no surprises there. Newcastle aren't doubling because Palace are in the semi-finals, so Newcastle aren't doubling, so just Leicester right now. Obviously, sorry about this, it's process of elimination. Chelsea, no. Arsenal doubling, Southampton are doubling, and Everton, no, Everton, no, forget about it. So yeah, basically Arsenal, Southampton, Leicester, yeah, and I'm probably missing one more team, but yeah, those teams are doubling. So there you go. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I've missed anything. I feel like I have. Yeah, Burnley's the other one, isn't it? Yeah, because Southampton and West Ham are the FA Cup. Yeah, Burnley's another one. Yeah, so that's why a lot of people are looking up their course. Pope, for example. So yeah, those are the 4 teams doubling. And there you go. So basically, Liverpool, Chelsea, City and Palace, the semi-finalists of the FA Cup, they're all going to blank and their respective opponents in 33, or at least they're going to have one game as opposed to 2. Wolves is the only team that blanks in 33. So yeah, it's a good time to get rid of these Wolves assets. So hopefully you got that. Apologies for the kind of long-winded response, but we got there in the end, at least. So yeah, there you go. Those are the fixtures for 33. I think it's perfect for a free hit for most people. Welcome, George. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, FA Cup draw, exactly. Man City against Liverpool, Palace against Chelsea, and also isn't Gallagher cup tied against Palace? So sorry, against Chelsea. Yeah, I think it will be a Chelsea, maybe Man City final. Let's wait and see though. You can't rule out Liverpool. Davis, Chilwell, Robbo, rank them for left back position. Is this Davis? Oh, from, yeah, I was going to say, what, Spurs Davis? Yeah, Robertson is clear. You know, he shouldn't be in this debate. He's way better than Chilwell and Davis. I'd probably put, I'm not sure about the other two. I'd still maybe put Davis second and Chilwell third. Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, the best Gameweek 33 team choices. Newcastle with 2 home games. Maybe I'm forgetting something, by the way, of Newcastle, because basically against Palace they're going to blank because Palace are in the semi-final, so I think it's only 1 game for Newcastle. But yeah, it's against Leicester. That's not a bad fixture offensively anyway. Robbo, Chilwell, Davis says, yeah, that's not a bad shout. I mean, that's debatable, Davis, Chilwell, but I agree with Robertson being first. There's no doubt about it. My team is not looking very good. Can I do a wildcard in 33 instead of 34 to do bench boost? Yeah, you can, but yeah, you could maybe consider doing the free in 33. That's another thing you could do. Chill's out for the season now, I heard. Yes, yeah, looks like he is. Chelsea versus Liverpool FA Cup final round 2. Yeah. Imagine that. And also in the Champions League, it could be a City-Liverpool Champions League final. Jesus. Yeah, 7 teams doubling in 33. Villa, Leeds, Wolves, blanking. Yes. Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, the best choice for a free hit, to be honest. Yes, once we get closer to the Gameweek 33 deadline, I'm going to be making a best free hit team, best wildcard team, etc. But I think it makes more sense to use the free hit there in most cases. Yeah, a great shout there, mate. And yeah, as for Villa, Leeds, Wolves, great time to get off these assets. Great time. Liverpool versus Man City, Gameweek 32. They play each other again in 33, but obviously not Prem. Yes, exactly. Let's wait and see. Imagine if City win both or Liverpool win both. Top 3 right backs, probably Trent, although defensively, like I said, I mean, look against Arsenal, for example, got ripped quite a few times, but Trent is probably the best right back. And who else is there? I'm probably forgetting some people, but not really that many stand out. I'd say, oh yeah, Cancelo, but he does play in the left back as well. So Trent, Cancelo, and probably Reece James are top 3. Yeah, up to you. You guys can rank them. What is the Trent situation? It looks like he's out for the next 3 or 4 weeks, but you never know. He could be available in time for Watford, and maybe the injury is only to miss the international break. And also the Liverpool FA Cup game there. They didn't really need him there. Can Breuer play against Chelsea? I don't believe he can, actually. Let me double check this, but I think he can't. So, great question you asked there, mate. Let me just go through this and double check for you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think Breuer played against them the 2 times they faced them. Yeah. Let me double check this as well. Yeah, no, he's tied, just like Gallagher. He can't play against his parent club. So there you go. United doubling also, I think. Yes, I think so. Would you keep Doherty on a wild card? On a wild card, probably not. The reason why I talked about getting him in a few weeks ago is because of the double in 29, playing in 30, etc. But I wouldn't really have him on the wild card. Are you moving Robbo Trent out for Gameweek 32? Maybe Trent. So basically, if Trent is ruled out for 31, I'll get rid of him in 31 and then get him back for 33, 34 potentially. Exactly, Mark, yeah. Hey Dylan, how you doing? Are we going to get sucked into the Vehicles wormhole again? I probably won't. I'm looking to get Harry Kane in. So let me go to my FPL.team set of transfers just to show you. So this is what I'm looking to do for a -4 potentially. If Trent is ruled out for Gameweek 31, depending on Reece James being available or not, I'll get Reece James or Rudiger in for Trent. I'll get Havertz in for Son and Harry Kane in for Jimenez for a -4. And my team will look something like this. I might even go for Broja in for Rafinha, for example, or something like that. But, oh yeah, I'm not sure if I'd double up on Arsenal defence against Palace, actually. Maybe I would go for Doherty. Maybe go for Cody first sub. I'm not sure about doubling up on Arsenal there. Yeah, I might put Broja. Yeah, something like this. That's how my team would look like with a -4. The alternative, if Trent is available for 31, what I might do is just keep him for another week at least and get rid of maybe Rafinha for Gordon, who has a double. Maybe play Gordon and then just bench him for the rest of the season, really. And yeah, that would give me enough money to do what I want. But yeah, with these moves, I would have 0.4 million left in the bank. And as you can see, it's cost a -4 hit. So let me know what you guys think of these transfers. But obviously, it's very early on. Things can happen. Kane can get injured. You never know. A lot can happen, basically, in that time period. Yeah, Ramsdale situation. Mark said something earlier about him potentially being out for 2 weeks, but nothing concrete yet. I'll try search something right now, but we're not going to get any concrete information right now. But yeah, if someone like The Athletic reports something, then we should consider it. So let me double check this, but I don't see anything about Aaron Ramsdale right now. Yeah, I don't see anything about him being injured, or at least the update on his injury, should I say. Okay, so yeah, here, this was the Arteta update yesterday, which I don't think I saw, actually. Hopefully this isn't clickbait, it's actually true, although I don't want it to be true, but you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it'd be nice if they actually provided the update. That'd be great. Yeah. He doesn't say anything about the actual injury, but yeah, like I said, it's clickbait title, not a surprise. Yeah, a lot of news sites do that. But yeah, if I see anything, I'll let you know. The games Aaron Ramsdale will miss as a potential return date is revealed. Okay, so this is by football.london. Okay, so hopefully something here. Let's see. Yeah, yet to be revealed by Arsenal boys for certain days that he will not be joining up with the England squad in the coming days. Yep. Okay, yeah, we knew that. Yes, he won't play for England. Yes. With that said, in potentially a major boost for Arsenal, Ramsdale could be back in time for the game against Palace at the beginning of next month. Amid the update, they will be out for a few weeks. Premier Injuries thinks a potential return date for the goalkeeper is April 4th. Yeah, remember, Arsenal play 2 days after the Gameweek 31 deadline, the 2nd of April. So yeah, he has enough time to recover. So yeah, I would say Ramsdale is going to be fit in time, but things can change, obviously. Which week is best to play your final chip wildcard? I'd probably say 34, but if your team is looking good already, or say not looking too good in 31, you could wildcard now. Newcastle versus Palace is midweek. Yes. Palace will play versus Chelsea FA Cup on the weekend. That's why we're doubling in 33 versus Leicester Palace. Thank you very much. Obviously, that's my mistake. So yeah, thank you very much for correcting me there. Thank you very much. And as he says, there's the latest information there. Once we get close to 33, I'll be providing all the updates in the videos and live streams as well, and talking about it in detail, the best options. But yeah, thoughts on Henry's statement? He's right, to be honest. I mean, why would you? I mean, this is why I don't get about PSG fans. They're booing Neymar, who got 2 assists against Real Madrid. Yeah, Messi didn't get any goal contributions and he missed the penalty, but you're not going to boo Donnarumma, who made the crucial mistakes which got them back into it. You're not going to boo Marquinhos, who was an absolute clown, or Kimpembe. You know, just PSG deserve what they get, really. Doherty nearly scored. He's still good. Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's not good, but on a wild card, why would you go for him when you've got Robertson, Trent if he's fit, Reece James, Rudiger, Cancelo, Tierney, all these doubles in the mix? So that's the way I see it. For me, bench boost than 36, really. 33, I would rather play the free hit, but it's not a bad option. Dewsbury Hall versus Gordon. I'd still rather go for Gordon, I guess, if I had to pick one. I don't really... Look, they're not bad options. They've got a double. Watkins isn't really doing it, but neither are Richarlison DCL. I'd actually rather go for Weghorst. And also, you're looking at Shea Adams, Kucha Hernandez, Mateta, Broja, etc. And obviously, Harry Kane is the standout. But those options around 7 million and under is what I'd go for. Drewsbury, yeah. I have Weghorst, but was thinking of benching him. But the Palace versus Everton game has changed my mind. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's the game that stands out for Weghorst, and he also has a decent double in 33. Been watching all the FPL content, makes me learn that never go for Norwich players. Probably the only team I haven't gone for. Yeah, same here. The only time I'd ever consider them is a kind of fifth option on the bench. It's fifth midfielder like Gilmore or something, or Rashika or whatever. Who is the other one? I forgot his name actually. Rashika, I think, is a bit more expensive, but yeah, I completely agree. I never really consider their assets. Yeah, Ramsdale's a hip injury. Yeah, it's a oblique muscle. Yeah, I think he'll be fine in time for Gameweek 31, but I could be wrong. How long did you say Trent might be out for? I think it was 3 to 4 weeks, what I read the other day, but it could be that he's back in time miraculously for Watford and Man City. I would expect him to be back for Gameweek 32. I'm not sure about 31. That is the big question mark. So I'll try to provide you an update, but a lot of this is going to be inconclusive information, and it might not be what ends up being true. So, yeah, this is the latest update provided by Jurgen Klopp a few days ago. So I'll try to read it out again just to kind of clarify anything, but we just won't know, basically. So yeah, no immediate England plans. Let's go all the way here. It'd be nice. Okay. Okay, yeah, a lot of these articles are pretty frustrating. They don't actually get to the point. Yeah, we'll see how long it will take. So yeah, no time frame is being given. I think he'll be fine for Gameweek 31 personally. Based on what we've seen so far, if the injury develops, of course, then I could be wrong. But yeah, he's going to be out for several weeks, of course. 31, 32 is when I'd expect him to be back. If he's in time, if he's back in time for Gameweek 31, I wouldn't want to sell him against Watford. I don't think it makes any sense at all. But yeah, hamstring, yeah, let's just wait and see, basically. 3 to 4 weeks, I'd say, or even just 2. Could be fake news, exactly. That's what I was saying as well, Wei saying. That's another possibility, so yeah. Suited stream when? Yeah, I did a suited video at one point, but that's literally just because I already had the suit on, and I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just do it. But yeah, I don't know when. Maybe to celebrate a milestone or something. Who's a must-sell? Sace, Kilman, or Dean? Great question. I probably would go for, all of them really, but the thing is, Wolves blank in 33. Their fixtures turn fairly soon, but Aston Villa already have bad fixtures. You already have 2 Wolves defenders. I would sell Kilman first, then Dean, and then Sace in that order, mate. -4 continue to Havertz. I think it's worth it, George, but don't make transfers just yet. At least Wolves have an okay 31, exactly, and 32. Yeah, that's true. Villa have Wolves away and Spurs at home. Exactly, that's true. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't sell Sace first. It's between Dean and Kilman. It's just that Kilman has kind of been in and out of the team more so than not. And Dean should be back for 31. But yeah, I agree. Always captaining a double Gameweek player would be tough for 31. Honestly, I could have a triple up in Burnley and Everton. And if I did, I'd probably delete my account or reconsider my mental state. But I'd still captain Salah. I don't think I'd captain any of their players. I get what you mean though, when you have a double Gameweek player, you always want to go for it because the ceiling is just higher on paper, but not for me. Yeah, I think I'd just stick with Salah. Obviously, but if Salah is looking likely to be benched or, he's been playing too many minutes in the World Cup qualifiers, that's going to be an issue. Hey Dylan, could you wish me luck? It's 4:30 AM in the Philippines. I have a job interview at 1:30 PM for 7 hours from now. Wish me luck. Yeah, go sleep, mate, obviously, and all the very best of luck, and hopefully you land a job, and yeah, all the very best, mate. Hopefully it goes well. Take care. Obviously, you can always come back to the stream afterwards, so don't worry about it. It's very late, mate. You should be getting some sleep, but you'll be fine. As long as you're prepared, you'll be definitely all good to go. Who's the best Chelsea defender to go for? If Reece James is fit, it's definitely Reece James. Otherwise, I'd be looking at Rudiger. A lot of people would point towards Chalobah, but I'd still go for Rudiger or James, with James being my top pick so long as he's fit very soon. But let me get that update up. I've mentioned it a few times today. Let me actually get the concrete quotes. And yeah, long-term injury. Okay. Oh, Jesus. All these pop-ups are very frustrating. Okay, whatever. All right, let me try get this up for you, because I don't want to obviously give you the wrong information. I saw something the other day that he'd be missing the next 3-4 games. Obviously includes the England games as well. But yeah, he's still in individual training. He needs 1 more week of rehabilitation, and I think we can provide this much better. It is not the job of the national team to do this. Okay, so yeah. So basically, he could be back in time for 31, 32. He's another one I'm considering. Basically, look, let me just put Reece James in here right now. He is my top pick from Chelsea if he's available. Him and Havertz. And then, obviously, Rudiger would be my top 3. So, top 3 Chelsea assets for me, James, Havertz, and Rudiger. So, if James is fit, I'm actually get him in for Trent and kind of balance out a little bit more there. I'd be pretty happy with this. I'd have 0.3 million left in the bank as well. You know, we know how explosive James is. Really good FPL asset. And yeah, he gets even more goals than Robertson and Trent. Gameweek 31 is only Salah, Kane captaincy. I completely agree. I would still rather go for Salah though. I think Watford are a worse team than Newcastle, and also Liverpool are a better team than Spurs. But obviously it's never as simple as that. Is there any double Gameweek in 37? Yes, it could be. So some of the teams that double in 36 could double in 37, but I can't tell you that for sure right now. So I'm not going to kind of go into stuff that I might be wrong about, but I'm guessing Leicester could have a double in 37. But yeah, we'll find out more when the time comes. Joining midnight stream every week. Yeah, thank you very much, Wei Seng, and same with everyone else from all around the world. Let me know, by the way, if you're still watching, where do you come from and what time is it over there? So right here in the UK, it's 8:30, so it's not too bad. Okay, ooh, that's a bit concerning. Yeah, YouTube's got a message. Let me know, by the way, is the actual video looking alright? Yeah, YouTube is basically saying there's like an issue there, so not sure if that's yeah, we'll wait and see. Leicester have 2 rearranged games, Chelsea and Norwich. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd say Leicester are up there. After Leicester game today, who's the better options? Look, I'm not gonna just base my opinion on, you know, just today. Maddison, I'd say, looked better today, but he scored a free kick. If it wasn't for that, you know, Barnes would have got, you know, more points in general. So it's really difficult to tell. Barnes is in better form. That's what I would say. Maddison has more issues with his injuries. You know, he always has this kind of lower back problem and everything. But Maddison is better for bonus points, I'd say, and also overall goal contributions. But Barnes, look, I think long term it'd be Maddison if he stays fit. But right now, I'd favour Barnes. Do you think Serie A is the worst in the top 5 leagues? If we're including Ligue 1, I'd say that's probably the worst. But Serie A is probably like... Look, I don't really rate the Bundesliga, Serie A or Ligue 1, really. I'd say La Liga is still probably second or third. But, you know, in their prime, you know, La Liga with Barca and Real Madrid always winning the Champions League, Atletico competing for the Champions Leagues. That, at one point, was better than the Prem. But right now, the Prem is pretty clear. Okay, thank you for the update. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not sure why I got that message there. Goal Aubameyang, nice. So the Aubameyang, Tony Kroos beef is being settled. Yeah, you know what? Good. I just don't like Real Madrid, honestly. So pretty good there. I'm pretty happy with that. Although I don't really care. I'll be honest. It's not like I'm going to lose sleep if Barcelona lose, but I'd rather they beat Real Madrid if I had to pick one. So let me double check this. Let's see if I'm getting trolled or not. No. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Bye-bye, Real Madrid. Norway. Wow. Yeah, overall... overall 10,000. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a really good rank, mate. 330 in Jamaica. Wow. Thank you very much for staying up. That's all I can really say. Thank you very much. Barnes, to be honest, yeah. But if you can, then double up on them. Yeah, it's not a bad shout to double up on them. But then you might want to leave that space for Salah, for Kulusevski or Son. But yeah, it's not a bad shout to double up on them. Havertz is another one that's looking really good. 51 from 5 players. That's really good, mate. That's a great average there. Trent to James, yes. If Trent is out and James is available for 31, great move. I'd do it. Schmeichel got injured during the end of the match and Ward is out for the rest of the season, so our third choice goalkeeper can play. Yeah, that's a great shout, mate. I still wouldn't really go for a Leicester goalkeeper or defender. Why do I hate Real Madrid so much? It's just not even just the question I hate them so much. I just don't like them. Their fans are a bit obnoxious. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. And yeah, I just don't like the club. I just don't like them. You know, they're very ungrateful, the fans. I don't like their president. And a lot of the Champions Leagues are very controversial. You know, in the 60s and 70s, they won a lot of Champions Leagues that, yeah, let's just say with good officiating, they wouldn't have happened. And even in recent years, when they won the 3 in a row, some very questionable decisions. So it's not really just a question of hate. I dislike quite a few teams, but yeah, that's why I don't really like them. Other options for 31 captaincy. Look, Salah, Trent if he's fit. You're looking at Robertson, Kane, Son. Any of those would be great. If you want a really outside pick, you can go for Havertz, Reece James if he's fit, etc. So yeah, I wouldn't really go anywhere else, personally. Jamaica still in the afternoon. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's around, Malaysia, for example, where it's 3:30. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Still, obviously, appreciate you tuning in during the afternoon. Who's your 5 players? Yeah, probably Kane and Son, with one of them captain. But, looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I said a draw for Barcelona and Real Madrid. Obviously, Barcelona are in really good form right now, but Benzema missing out is why I didn't really back a Madrid win. They could still come back, though, as they did against PSG. But are Barcelona as big of a bottlers as PSG? Probably not, to be fair. So that's what I would say. Let's see. So yeah, we're approaching 9 o'clock very soon. So yeah, keep sending in your questions and comments. We'll be wrapping up fairly shortly. Will Trent play against Watford? I can't say that for sure. He'll be back by Gameweek 31 or 32 in my opinion. I think he will be fine, but I could be wrong. So let's wait and see. Worst fan base, Real Madrid, Man United or PSG? I'd probably say Real Madrid. I don't like any of the fan bases, but I'd probably say Real Madrid because I remember Real Madrid fans booing Ronaldo at one point in the 2012-13 season. They booed Ozil, Higuain and everything. I remember when they missed chances against Dortmund, especially Ozil, and they're ungrateful. I'd say Madrid are the worst, but all of them are bad. Obviously not all of them, by the way. Some fans are good. Malaysia's GMT, yeah, +8, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Man United, yeah. Aren't you a Newcastle fan, didn't you say? So yeah, I can see why. A lot of Newcastle fans hate United. So I can see what you mean there. No surprises, really. So, there we go. Yeah, so international break right now, 2 weeks. What are we going to do? No FPL? No FPL, what do we do? Yeah, maybe just hiatus, just chill, go on holiday, and just forget about FPL at all, especially if we had a bad week, but no. There will be plenty of content coming out. Yeah, hey guys, what an odd game week? Yes, exactly, what an odd game week. Basically, if you had Son and Kane, you did well. If you had one of them and as captain, you probably just about got away with it. If you had neither, it's looking a bit awkward. If Trent doesn't play, who do I replace him with? Reece James if he's fit, mate. If not, you're looking at Rudiger, Cancelo, etc. I'd go for them. Wow, Wayseng says United. Also, once again, a Chelsea fan, so it makes sense. United's another team that I don't like a lot as well, but I think Madrid are worse. Is Eden Hazard one of the greatest players to play in the Prem? Yes, but I wouldn't say he's top 5 or 10, personally. I don't think he's in that bracket. Top 20, 30? Yeah, probably. In his position, probably up there as well. Why United, though? I mean, like I said, I didn't say they're the worst, but I'll be interested to see why the others say it. Probably because of the clubs they support and the rivalry they had with United. I don't know whether to... I was going to say Man United. I don't know whether to activate this wildcard. I just want to change up my front three, but my defence is solid and mid is okay. If you only want to make 3 changes, then I wouldn't wildcard for that gold head. So, yeah. Man United chucking all their trash to Simeone. Simeone clearly had the best game plan to silence Man United. But Simeone he's an elite coach. Very defensive. Not pretty. Not great to look at, but yeah. Then again, though, I don't really blame Ranić. A lot of the United ex-players, they were very easy on Oli because obviously they were friends with him. But then when it's Ranić, they just completely rip into him and say he's not good enough. Why did he get the job? Why did Oli get the job? When his CV was basically the Norwegian league with Molde and Cardiff getting relegated with them. So Aguero the best to play in the 2010s. In the Prem, yes, maybe in the Prem. Definitely not the best player in the 2010s. Definitely not. And as for striker, it would be Suarez for me. Suarez or Lewandowski, then Aguero. But yes, Aguero is the best Premier League player in the 2010s. What is your plan for UCL Fantasy? I'm still working on that. I'll be making a video very soon, but I'm keeping my options open. But I've got 4 eliminated players. I'm going to get rid of them probably and get Cancelo back in. I want to get this guy back in. Yeah, weird game week for me, but I managed to seek 72 points. That's really good, mate. That's a great score. Ozil versus Fabregas. I think Ozil's a better chance creator and playmaker, but Fabregas is the better player. All round, he can carry a team. And I think Fabregas was better at Arsenal in his younger, years. He was right up there with Gerrard and Lampard, in those years, and even rivaling, up there with Ronaldo as one of the best players in the Premier League. So yeah, for me, I'd go for Fabregas, but as a playmaker, I'd say Ozil. Ranić is just exploiting weaknesses, and Ollie's friends are not liking it. Exactly. The players, come on. You've got Mourinho, you've got Van Gaal, two completely different philosophies. You've got Ranić, you've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and all of them have these problems. At what point do you go and say, you know what, maybe the players are bad? Now, don't get me wrong, none of those managers right now are elite. None of them I would say are top 5 or top 10 managers in the world, but they're not bad. I don't think any of them are awful. Even Ollie, he's not an awful manager. So I think the players are mainly to blame. Doherty, Cash or Rudiger? Rudiger long term, definitely. Thoughts on Alexis versus Pedro? That's not a debate, mate. It's Alexis all day long. Pedro was better for Barcelona. Yes, he was clutch. Alexis is a better player. What does Pedro really beat him in? He's 2-footed. Well done. Alexis is way clear. Alexis is up there with Hazard. And for me, Alexis in his prime, right up there with Hazard. And even in that 16-17 season, he was better. There's no debate there. Best weeks to free hit, 33, 36, 37. I'd say 33 is the best, though. Fabregas is the better player than Ozil. Yeah, how is that the worst take? Mate, have you seen Fabregas at Arsenal? Come on, I don't really agree with that. Ozil in his prime as well, yes, he was really good in 2010 to 2013. He's not better than Fabregas for me. And also, to be fair, different players in a way. Fabregas plays a bit deeper. Ozil's the number 10, so to speak. I still think Fabregas and Ozil, I'd say, left on better terms than he did. Cash and Coutinho replacements. Chelsea defender and Havertz. So Reece James and Havertz. If you can't afford it, go for Tierney instead. If Haaland joins Man City, would he be the best FPL option? I still think Salah's clear, but Haaland would probably be the best forward. Yeah, I'd say so, because he's clinical and City creates so many chances. So yeah, they took 2 chances out of 2 matches out of several. Simeone Ball. Yeah, but I don't think... Look, if you were to ask me who played better, Atletico or United, first half maybe United a little bit more, but Atletico better in the second half. So, yeah, I honestly think that Atletico deserved the win. They deserved to go through, personally. It was very close. Well, I don't really get that because Ozil played for Arsenal, so I'm literally not biased. Fabregas left on worse terms, and he joined Chelsea, so if anything, I should be backing Ozil. So I don't really get that. What do we do with the Wolves and Villa defenders? Sell, especially Villa. I would sell. Yeah, 2-0 for Barca. Good. Bye-bye, Real Madrid. Bye-bye. Yeah, mugs. PSG actually really bad for losing to them. Just saying that, but yeah. Real Madrid fans in here are definitely disliking. Man said Araujo scored. You're letting that guy score. I mean, yeah, he's a decent centre-back, but come on. Jesus, Madrid are awful. My God. Yep, 2-0 for Barca. Thoughts on Robertson, Weghorst? Not really a big fan of either of them. I wouldn't recommend going for 2 or 3 Burnley players. Weghorst is decent, especially with the lack of forward options, so I'd go for him. Roberts, I wouldn't waste a special, or should I say a precious, defender slot on a Burnley defender, so not for me. Ajax and Juventus choke once again. What, did Juventus lose today? Let me double check that. Oh yeah, my bad. Let me just go. Just went off this screen there. Let's go to FPL.team. Yeah, we'll stick on that. Let's go on the good old Juventus. Let's see. So Juventus, they won 2-0. Yes. Yeah, Juventus bottled in the Champions League. Yeah, I get you. And Ajax in the Champions League. Did Ajax end up losing? No, they ended up winning 3-2. And they were losing 2-1 at one point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. Ajax and Ten Hag, yeah. Oh no, Danby. I wonder who you support. I like Madrid. They're still top of the league. Yeah, I don't care though, to be honest. And a lot of the Champions League are fraudulent, to be fair. I suppose if I ask you Humberg versus CR7, nah. Okay, I'm not stupid, mate. Humberg is a legend, and obviously in the Prem, he was great. I'm not going to say that. But if you're going to ask me Ronaldo Henry in the Prem, it's Henry. And that's not even biased. That's just a fact, to be honest. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm that biased. I would say Ronaldo isn't as good as Humberg. Come on. Let's be serious here. Let's be serious. If you're asking me Pires or Son, that's a good debate. That's something to be had, but for me, Pires. But yeah, you can keep them coming, these comparisons. We'll see if I'm that biased or not. So yeah, Madrid, I probably should be watching this game. It's pretty good. So yeah, we'll wrap up very soon. If you've got any more questions or comments, let me know, and we'll end this very soon. Obviously, much appreciated to everyone who's already been tuning in. Remember to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. It's much appreciated. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM on Twitter, and on Instagram it's Dylan_RCM, but pretty much the same thing. And as you can see, 76k overall, a slight red arrow from around 4,000 places, 51 points, can't really complain too much. Son captaincy saved me, and also Bukayo Saka, so thank you very much. For Son Giggs, obviously his longevity and consistency was really good, but I think there were better wingers in the Premier League, yes. He was good, obviously. Wait, where's Trent? No, I don't think he's definitely out for 31. I'm just showing some possible transfers. I'm not definitely getting rid of him. My preference would be to keep Trent, get rid of Rafinha for Gordon, for example, and fund the Havertz and Kane moves. But yes, if Trent is out for 31, I probably will be getting rid of him for Reece James or whoever's fit in time for 31. Pires or Pepe? Okay, come on, that is not even a question. Son washes the floor, Pires. Okay, yeah, the less said, the better. The thing is, Pires in his prime is probably better than both. But yeah, here we go with the comments. Barcelona demolishing Madrid. Xavi the real deal, maybe? Obviously, it's a bit early to say, but he's looking really good right now. Him and Arteta have kind of turned things around, but yeah, obviously it's good. And Madrid aren't that good, so time to remove Rafinha? Yes, I'd still say it is. You know, he blanks, I think, in 33 potentially, so yeah. Henry is a heyday. Yeah, the best Premiership player of all time. Yes, definitely. But then some United fans will say, no, it's Ronaldo. And the question is not the best player to have played in the Prem, it's the best Premier League player. And there you go. So yeah, for me, there's no doubt Henry's the best. If you say strike or goal scorer, that's debatable. Aguero has a very similar record. Shearer has the most goals, so that's debatable. But Henry's the best player, definitely, in the Prem. And obviously, imagine if he was in FPL. My God, then we're talking. We're talking about the Salah version in the forward line. So yeah, bye-bye Barcelona. Or should I say bye-bye Real Madrid? Wow, look at that. Dembele got the assist for Araujo's goal. Who got the assist for the first goal? Dembele as well. When Dembele's getting a brace of assists, you know you're in trouble, mate. But yeah. Dylan, can you give a transfer strategy towards Gameweek 33? If you're not free hitting in 33, the transfer strategy is to get rid of Wolves players, definitely. I'd also get rid of Leeds players, and I would look to bring in Chelsea assets. And yeah, that's what I'd be looking to do. Mainly get rid of Wolves players, for sure. Xavi ball, yeah, looking pretty decent. Man United won in Ten Hag when both Man United and Ajax getting knocked out in the same stage. But Ten Hag is a good manager, but in the Champions League, quite a lot of bottling. You know, against Spurs, yeah, great comeback, yeah, well done, Lucas, but that is bottling. That's the way I see it. Obviously, as a Spurs fan, you would say, wow, what a comeback, and yes, it was a great comeback, but I mainly would blame Ajax there, the management from Ten Hag and the players bottling it. So, and then you look at it here against Benfica. Good team this season. You know, Benfica aren't no mugs. They beat Barcelona, knocked them back down to Europa League. Still, you know, I think, I don't know, Ten Hag is a bit like Pochettino, a bit of a bottling gene there, probably. Rafinha with Southampton and Watford up next. Yeah, but even against Norwich, you got only 5 points. I don't think Rafinha is a must keep. And if you can do Rafinha to Havertz, I just do it. Best 10 in the Premier League. Number 10. Oh, great question. I'd say David Silva's right up there. Best, like number 10, as in whoever wears the number 10, I'd say Dennis Bergkamp's up there, but number 10, probably David Silva. There are others though, but I'd probably go for him. By the way, the likes of Gerrard, Scholes and Lampard don't really fall under that category. Otherwise, I'd probably go for them. Time to remove Rafinha. Yeah, I already answered this question, mate. I've not watched this Araujo. Loads of rumours him to United. Look, he's a good young player, good centre-back, but obviously Barcelona fans maybe do overhype him a little bit, but he is good, yeah. Yeah, I think also Romero's linked to United a few months back. I think he would have been a good signing, probably better than Araujo as well. But yeah, Araujo's pretty decent. All right, I want to say no, 2 good fixtures coming up if you can get them, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. There's 2 different ways to look at it. But I think if you can do an upgrade to a Havertz, I just think the upside's there. And Rafinha, he doesn't get any double-digit returns. But I think in these 2 games you will get something. Yes, definitely. Rooney's the best 10 Prem in England has ever seen. The thing is with Rooney, he's basically a centre forward, you know, played up front, played as centre mid and as an attacking midfielder. I wouldn't say he's the best playmaker or number 10 though, that's the thing. But Rooney was great, of course. Odegaard versus Maddison. This season, Odegaard's been better. That's the way I see it. Maddison might have more goal contributions, but Odegaard actually, you know, influences the tempo. Yeah, it has to be Odegaard this season, and also has more potential. So for me, Odegaard. But FPL-wise, it's definitely Maddison. Do not go for Odegaard over Maddison. That's the way I see it. So thank you very much everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Smash the like button and subscribe for new. We're going to be wrapping up. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all of that good stuff. Dylan RCM. Check out the description below for the league and also for all the links, including the Discord server, as well as the Patreon and the channel memberships. Check all of that out. It really helps out the channel and you can get exclusive early access to all my videos. And all the very best of luck with Game Week 31 and also enjoy the international break if that's even possible. Probably not. Ji-Sung Park versus Kante. I wouldn't really compare them. I mean, Kante is better, but Ji-Sung Park is... Obviously, Kante is kind of an engine. I can see why you're making that comparison, but I wouldn't really compare them. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd be Kante for sure. And obviously, he's one of the most decorated footballers of this generation. Yeah, then people will always put Kante in the Vieira debates and stuff. I don't really think that makes sense, but yeah. Kante, who do you compare him to? Probably Makelele. I think that is where you'd compare him. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much for always tuning in. I'll catch you soon. There might be a stream earlier than usual, so not for the deadline. I'll let you guys know if that's the case. There'll be UCL Fantasy content. There'll be FPL content along the way. I think F1 Fantasy went pretty well, actually, except for the Verstappen fiasco. Red Bull engines looking really vulnerable in terms of reliability, but yeah, on the whole, pretty good. We've got Magnussen, Leclerc as captain, Sainz, Ferrari, etc. So yeah, pretty good. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there with F1 Fantasy. I've got 2 free hits left as well as a bench boost. When is the best time to save my free hits? 33, mate. Yeah, 33. I bench boost in 36 and potentially free hit in 37, Brian. Hopefully you got that. Yes, there will be videos about double game weeks and, you know, 33 and stuff when the time comes. And there'll probably be a guide. You know, there could be a guide in the next week or two. I'll let you guys know. And also the transfer tips video, the team selection, the best free hit team, the best wildcard team. There could be a rating your teams video. So stay tuned for all of that. I'll be letting you guys know. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. And also tweet about it. I'll be interacting with you on Discord. So you will be well aware if you follow on all of those platforms and also engage with the content as well. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the football as always. And I'll see you next time.